Hello everyone, welcome to Mindovermania, where we keep your head above the chaos. I'm recording another pick a card reading where you get to choose your own intuitively channeled messages. Today's topic is going to be... One second. There's a stinky moose about to appear. Today's topic is going to be exposing this person, okay? So essentially the vibe of this video is if you're trying to identify either a manipulative person or someone who's keeping a secret going on in the background, we're going to explore who this person is and what's been kind of going on behind your back. Again, make sure... General disclaimer, remember that these are general messages, okay? So if you do not feel drawn to this video, the messages are not for you, okay? Only take what resonates. And, please do not make any stupid decisions based off of a tarot reading. Use your own discernment and judgment when it comes to exposing people, right? Tarot is for entertainment purposes only, and so make sure that you are utilizing your own intuition on your particular situation whenever you're going to do stuff, right? I don't want you coming back and blaming me for accusing somebody of cheating or doing whatever, and then it's not accurate, okay? Be grounded. Anyways, though, without further ado, in order to select your pile, close your eyes, put your feet firmly on the floor, take a couple deep breaths, clear your mind, and then focus on the manipulative energy that's going on. You can either visualize it or just think or feel about that weird feeling that you get either in a workplace or around a certain person, and then open your eyes and select which pile resonates with you, okay? We are here to expose the truth. And work through the distortions that are potentially going on in the situation. However, if you would like more detail about your particular situation, links are in the description down below. Feel free to book me for a tarot reading session. Without further ado, I will see you at your pile. Hello everyone, you have chosen group number 1, and these are your messages on exposing this person. Who is this person and what is kind of going on behind your back, okay? Or what is the truth, all right? So, starting off the bat, we're going to do a bit of a vibe check for the situation. Because right off the bat, this could be like a family member, spouse potentially. Initially, when I was picking up on the energy, I was feeling some kind of like either narcissism or someone that's, again, it feels just family focused, right? So this could be a family member, a marriage. I also heard marriage proposal, or there's just some kind of distorted energy of someone's playing pretend in a relationship, okay? And specifically with the Ten of Cups, for those of you that are more familiar with tarot, the Ten of Cups is all about family fulfillment, happiness, emotional, basically getting that happily ever after, either with another person or again in some kind of a relationship sense. It doesn't always have to be romantic either. But I do feel like this person that is going to be exposed right now is a family person, or they appear family oriented. This person definitely feels like the show is always about them, right? So when I'm looking at this card, there's the guy in the orange, and it feels like this person isn't even there. So maybe you are trying to expose a spouse or a parent. There's something, though, that's really big about keeping up with appearances, okay? And so this person, whenever you're trying to identify them, look for things that appear to be spotless. Okay, because, and this is something that, only take what resonates, but there's the old saying that, sometimes people keep things clean intentionally to hide all of the skeletons, you know what I mean? Anyways, though, I'm going to go ahead and pull your cards to see what does Spirit want to be exposed about this person and who is it? Okay, so I'm still pulling cards and I'm already getting messages, so I feel like whoever this person is, they are terrified of you finding them out. Or maybe finding out that they've been with someone else, so maybe someone's been cheating or been involved in a cheating type scandal. Another thing I was feeling off the bat is you know the truth, okay? So maybe this is someone that you're obsessed with. Maybe you are someone who has a secret of your own, for example. But like in terms of this person, I don't know if you maybe got caught up in a certain situation. One second, my cat's being in the way. Okay, sorry about that. So the one thing that I was picking up on the energy, which was relevant to Moose, is it almost feels like this person just feels like they're always up in your business or like just constantly trying to distract you. Like immediately I was just thinking of like a certain type of person or personality where it's kind of like you're trying to move on and this person goes like, wait, you know, everything's about me, so where are you going? You know what I mean? Kind of like with Moose, where she's literally like, okay, I'm just gonna like, you know, get in your way. Even if I'm sitting here giving you pets and doing all the things you want, I'm still gonna be obnoxious because the whole point is getting in your way, right? And trying to draw your attention to someone, which is, in this case, your person. Which, again, when I say, like, your person, it kind of feels like, again, I don't know if you have a special relationship with this person or you want this person, but you don't really know what's going on. I keep hearing, like, take a chance and take a chance on me, and it's just like, I don't know. Gosh. Also, who this person is, they love to talk to you or talk about you to someone. Aw, I got the image of someone, like, literally, like, talking to, like, their grandma or somebody who's passed on about them and being like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I want to tell you all about this person I've met, or, like, and, like, that's what's so interesting is because the sneaky energy feels very, like, maybe this person has a mood disorder, or, like, I don't know, I just want to keep pulling cards, because, like, this feels messed up, or messy, or someone's been, like, messing with you, when, I don't know, I feel like maybe the truth is you know, that's gonna be exposed, or whatever, which is strange. Alright, so I guess I'm being told to split this up based off of, like, who this person is and what's being exposed. And then, yeah, there's just something here that is confusing the crap out of me, and probably confusing the crap out of you, because I'm like, what in the heck? No. And this is something for both. And that's the thing, too, is, like, I'm sitting here being like, okay, this is how I designated it, and then this person's like, no, I gotta do it my way. And so maybe there's, like, a lot of deviation or hidden changes. It's almost like this person doesn't seem to trust, or they don't know, so they come up with, like, a contingency plan, but then they slowly start to, like, back out of it halfway through. It's really chaotic energy, which, again, maybe this person has undiagnosed ADHD, or there's just some kind of, like, a flightiness to them where they're like, oh, okay, I was thinking about this on Monday, and then, like, by Tuesday they forgot what they committed to, and then they're already on a different path, and then everyone around them's like, okay, like, shifting gears. Your person pisses people off, because of this, versus you're kind of just like, whatever, I don't know, there's something about this person changes their minds a lot, so that's why the show's always about them, because you never know what's gonna come out. So anyways, this is who this person is, I feel like. Do I still have a chance? Okay, so this definitely could be like an ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, or who's getting exposed is... Yeah, I just keep hearing you're getting exposed. You know, so maybe you said or did something or acted a certain way towards somebody, and then another person got jealous or mad, or, like, Again, I feel like this person has a rotating door though. So it's almost like you're kind of like, ew, I don't like that term. Maybe this person's kind of misogynistic, but or that's what it just feels like. Is it's kind of like, all right, well, you're the girlfriend of the week, right? When he screws this one up, he's gonna screw up the next one. You know what I mean? So it's like there's been a long list of others. Maybe this person's tried getting help, and this person perceives that they're useless anyway. So it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna keep up with this and whatever. The show still goes on, and you're just like, wait a minute, like I thought you. I was like, I trusted you. I thought these were the things, and this was like, yeah. I trusted so and so many years ago, and then now I just don't give a rat's about any of that stuff anymore. But yeah, I have to keep up appearances for the camera. So maybe this person's trying to show off to their family that they are reliable and can be trusted. Meanwhile, they're like possessive or act possessed, and I'm like, no. Like, I don't know. I feel like there might have been like a religious upbringing or a fear-based thing with this person. And so what's getting exposed is some kind of hidden disorder maybe, or a breakup of some kind, or maybe the fact that you two broke up. I don't know. Because, like, to me, it almost feels like maybe you guys had, like, a alignment of some kind or a partnership, and everyone was, I'm hearing, like, Avril Lavigne, like, meant to be, supposed to be, but then it was kind of like, oh, it's fake. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I'm literally getting the image of, like, you applied to a sweepstakes and you won, and then you walk in the room and then everything's, like, cheap, or, like, the person that you won isn't even there. So it's kind of like, do I still have a chance with this person? Like, where the person isn't even here. You know what I mean? They backed out last minute. So I don't know, maybe you observed somebody doing something shady. Whoever this person's gonna get exposed. We've got Box, you will receive a gift. Sun, happiness and well-being. Yeah, I feel like this person is always in a sunshiny mood, or like they try to appear very bright. Or they projected something onto here, or you did. There's some kind of like, oh my gosh, this person's always happy and things are always going their way. And sometimes maybe that irritates you a little bit. Woman, dealing's a relationship with a woman. Yeah. So maybe someone was in an arranged marriage, but I do see someone like some kind of a female matriarch of some kind. So maybe someone was watching out for a marriage or trying to set somebody up with someone else and it backfired. It just kind of feels like someone is like very, I was hearing like cursed, and I was like, no, it's not a curse, but it does kind of feel like some kind of like an arranged marriage or a situation where it's like being like, okay, well, I want to do this to uphold this family tradition, and I'm marrying for money, or I'm marrying for these different reasons. And so to me, it feels like almost like a traditional culture where it's kind of like, okay, we are going to have these two propose to each other and get married, and then we're just going to figure things out after that. Like, as long as they're married, then it's okay. We don't care what they do. So this is kind of like a false sense of security. That's why, to me, this person doesn't really care when it comes to marriage, because nothing changes for them. They're still like a child, or they still get to run around and be whatever, and as long as someone's got a ring, then the women come in and take over everything. So then the guys just never grow up, or they're never seen again, in this case. So that's why I don't know if someone's riding on someone's last name, and trying to call the shots now. Interesting. We've got an older woman. Dealing's a relationship with an older woman. Ooh. Okay, so I heard like elder abuse or something. So maybe there is like maybe an inheritance or like a family tradition that maybe someone's maliciously trying to get in. Again, only take what resonates, but there's some kind of an influence of like a secret. An older person maybe was, again, like I'm kind of feeling like fortune, or some kind of like a grandparent. Like, again, I'm seeing like the whole like, oh, well, I want to make sure that I'm married before my grandparents pass away or whatever. And this person was conniving and being like, oh, okay, I know how to play wife or whatever, so that way I can get this inheritance, especially with this, like, you will receive a gift. Whoever this person that's going to be exposed to you, something is going to get exposed to you first before everyone else. I mean, obviously this tarot reading, but it's like maybe you're going to get something. you know, in this family arrangement, because this person already saw what was going on. Ooh, okay. So like there's a couple different things, because again, this doesn't necessarily even need to be like a dating relationship. What could have happened, and this could be like for a family, for example, someone already saw a marriage that just fell apart, and this older woman was protecting maybe you guys, pile number one, and so you're going to receive the money that this person wasn't willing to shell out. Or maybe you were promised money, or someone else was promised money, and someone else came in and took it away without your knowledge. An exciting event. Okay. So you could have met this person at an exciting event, or that's where it's going to get exposed. Torch, spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. Yeah, like there's just so much, like the energy's moving so quickly. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even keep up. Kangaroo, unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Seahorse, family matters. More confirmation there. I miss hearing your voice. Sorry, I'm getting lots of messages at the same time, but none of it makes sense. Or, again, collectively, there's just too much energy of too many different people's individual situations. So, for you guys, pile number one, I'm going to be honest, because this is supposed to be a general message. There's going to be a lot of themes discussed in this reading, so only try to use your discernment and see how it fits with your particular situation. Okay? Yeah, I'm gonna try moving the camera so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay. Great. So ironically here, you've got the King of Pentacles in reverse and the King of Cups. So something was sorted out without your knowledge, okay? Whoever this person or being was, like, who's going to get exposed to you is maybe you let somebody down, okay? Now, and by let down, whoever this person you let down, this could be a parental figure, this could be a spouse, but it really feels strange because with, like, happiness and well-being, like, you're, like, I'm hearing, like, give yourself a chance, okay? Like, there's some kind of, like, someone took a risk on somebody else, and that's what's going to lead to this exciting event, okay? Because with this you let me down, like, there's definitely this energy of, like, let down who? You know? Like, there's kind of, like, again, it feels like a family shame energy. Like, with unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Like, maybe there was some financial instability, or, like, someone got the short end of the stick. Or, again, it's kind of like with that arranged marriage vibe, it really feels like the family is going to cause a whole hullabaloo over the chance that was taken, or some thing that was broken, a promise broken, or whatever. Like, again, I see it almost like a hand in marriage, where it's like, oh my gosh, this person got a divorce, when it was like, well, that person wasn't ready to get married. And you guys don't actually care if that person's in a happy marriage or not. It's kind of like the idea of, like, the people who are obsessed with being married so they can have access to things, and then, like, they don't even care about the other person getting married. You know what I mean? Like, they don't care about how the relationship's going or whatever. So with the you let me down, there's, like, this person who's going to get exposed is, like, there's a liar or a narcissist in the family that's been manipulating and calling the shots this whole time. Basically putting someone down and saying, like, okay, like, you need to do this, or this and this and this and this. It's almost like to me, it feels like it's a feminine energy of, like, a woman who's used to always being in control, feels conservative and traditional. And by conservative, I don't mean political beliefs. I mean, could be, but, like, it really feels like this person's just, like, they're used to always being, like, might means right, and, like, really strict on traditional values. Okay, but when I say traditional values, so this is my belief system, but there's traditional values were developed for a reason, right? And there's a practical reason why these traditions evolved. These people, however, they follow tradition out of a means of control, okay? In a means of fear, in a means of undercutting things, and, like, this is just how the world works, okay? That does not mean that is the truth, Okay, and that does not mean that this person's traditional. Because again, a narcissist is not the same as a traditional person. A traditional person is not going to use gender roles to allow abuse. Okay, and that's kind of what this energy is this person that's going to get exposed is some kind of a secret female abuser type energy vibe. And maybe this person was messing with your relationship, but this feels like some kind of a female authority figure. Now, this could also be an ex-partner. So for some of you, this could be like an ex-lover, an ex-girlfriend, a baby mama. But to me, this feels more like this is... I'm hearing like gender or Jen... Not like Jennifer, but like there's some kind of something here where I was like, I don't think it's an ex, actually, in this case. Maybe generalization? Maybe someone that, like, told you to go away, or, like, they're... I don't know whoever this person is, because, like, again, this very easily could be, like, a family member of a partner that you had no idea this person existed. You know, with the... like... Again, with the inheritance thing, it's kind of like maybe this person was like, well, if you get with this person, you're not going to receive your inheritance. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, well, maybe if you come out as gay, or this person's like, no. Like, I get to approve who you marry and who whatever. You will not get my approval. I do not want to be touched. I don't want to be whatever. Like, there's some kind of like a really hands-off toxic energy. And then with like the I miss hearing your voice, this kind of feels like either your person or this older woman, where maybe you were cut off from a family member. That's where I'm like, this is really interesting, because like there's a combination between like marriage and relationship and then blood family ties. You know, so like maybe again, this could have been like a mother figure or someone who cuts you off fundamentally from your family. And so, or this person from their family. And so the older woman was maybe like a grandparent, or again, a mother, or somebody from that side of the family that's like, whoa, like, you know, what's going on here, right? And so they kind of plan to work around this person who's causing all this chaos. With 10 of Cups, that's interesting, because you got 10 of Cups here, but this one's in the reverse, right? So that's also more confirmation about family. And then with King of Pentacles in reverse, this kind of tells me about like, okay, so maybe the person who's getting exposed, someone had financial wealth and abundance. Okay, so this could be a guy, because with King of Pentacles instead of the Queen of Pentacles. But this feels like in general, like there was something kind of wealthy, like a wealthy treasure, right? And so this person, maybe they didn't have access to all of it, all of the resources, or it's kind of like they already drained everything that was there, so they were going for the final piece, which was something to do with you, right? And so maybe there was like a process they were going through, like again, a divorce where they're trying to get all the money, or some kind of like, well, this was a trust fund that was specifically for this person, from this person, and it was supposed to go to you, but it went to her instead, because they're like, oh, well, this person doesn't know how to financially manage things, so we're gonna not disclose that this fund exists for this person. Wow. Yeah, there's some kind of like a tight secret of this family member that was like gonna get exposed once this woman's out of the picture. Yeah, because someone was protecting you, or spirit was protecting you guys, pile number one. Wow. Like, you're really loved. But it's going to be an exciting event, because whenever this gets exposed, wow. With the King of Cups in reverse, yeah, someone was kind of bitter and closed off in this connection. Either with this masculine, like, this guy was just basically cut out of all the decision-making, and maybe it was just two other women. Because they're like, oh, well, he can't handle things right now. He's busy with work. You know, don't have him sign the papers. I'll take care of it. I'm his wife, you know? Again, though, you let me down. A lot of shaming. Whoever this person is very shame-based. And, like, again, with the Sun, it's kind of like another way you'll know who this person is, pile number one, is, like, happy, nice people. This person's repulsed by them. Okay, so, like, if you're just naturally exuberant and happy, they get so jealous and flustered and angry and upset because they're in a pit of despair. Because they're a narcissist or whatever. Yeah, with like family matters, they're always like trying to keep things hush hush or behind closed doors. And with the kangaroo, you know, you kind of expose things because like you can't hide everything. You know, especially if people are going through rough times, people are going through rough times. And so when you kind of trashed on this person, or maybe you acknowledged what was going on with this person, it's like, do I still have a chance? I don't know, like some of you guys, maybe you're like really concerned about like being estranged from family, or like because again, you found out, oh, I'm queer, so I'm not gonna end up marrying that person or have this kind of lifestyle, and you're like, is my family gonna like kick me out or whatever? And like your happiness is assured, okay? Again, this is an exposure pile, so Spirit's like, hey, you're gonna be fine. You know, but this is again more backing in detail of who this person is that's about to get exposed. And tying into the what. But with the Six of Swords too, maybe you had to move away to get away from all this BS and like clear your mind. You know, because with this woman, it just feels like it's such smothering energy. It's like, oh my God, like you can't like do anything without this person trying to control you. And with the Seven of Cups is about like choices, right? So another thing about who is getting exposed to you, there's something about what this person does in the night. Okay, so maybe this person stays up late doing things. That's so weird because like I was hearing a person's name from my past, and I was like, maybe this person's like Googling somebody or something about your person, or like maybe they just don't trust something or a situation. All right, because like you're sitting here being like, yay, la-di-da-di-da. Meanwhile, this person's like, they're looking up certain things. Okay, so maybe this person's always looking for backup plans and about exposing things. Because like I could definitely see this person trying to like look up dirty secrets online about you because, oh my gosh, I could see this person trying to find out if you have an OnlyFans, or this person's trying to prove that you've been mishandling funds or doing something that is like so wild. You know what I mean? Like this person's kind of delusional. Delulu. And like this King of Cups, I mean, this guy, whoever they married or whoever this person, he's checked out. He's like he's intentionally looking the other way because he doesn't want to have his secrets exposed by this person, but also what she's been projecting onto him. I mean, he doesn't want any part of it. He's just like, I'm focusing on looking away and pretending like everything's okay when it's not, you know, and just letting you get stuck in the crosshairs. As long as we look like we're a happy couple and in a happy marriage, I'm fine, you know, because it has nothing to do with me. I don't want any part of it, which is really cowardly and kind of narcissistic in its own. Again, though, with this gong, I'm also seeing, though, like, to me, I think of like a martial arts match where it's like, all right, and fight, you know, because whenever this truth comes out and you get into a fight with this person, like, she's pulling no punches, okay, whoever this person is. So, you got the torch, though. Again, spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. Like, you're gonna, you know, come back swinging, but things are gonna come to light in a way that it's like, this person's gonna get removed so fast. But an exciting event, this is what is important, because this is gonna be a centerpiece on how this is going to get exposed to you. Again, I hear like you let me down. You know what I mean? So someone's contacting someone else maybe. Kind of being like, oh, how could you do this? Again, making assumptions. And maybe you're making assumptions about who this person is or what's going to get exposed. And so Spirit's kind of saying like, just be careful because this is a general tarot reading. Because everyone's truth is going to be a little bit different. Okay, so this is kind of something going on between who is getting exposed and what's getting exposed. It's like, I have too much to lose. Yeah, so like I'm sitting here thinking like cancer diagnosis, right? So it's like maybe there's somebody who they're so used to being in charge that all hell's gonna break loose because they have too much to lose for you to be right about a certain person or a certain situation, right? Because it's kind of like, okay, like if this person gets exposed, like again in the family scenario, like they can't go get a job. I mean, they can, but it's going to backfire on them. And like I could see this person have a complete shutdown or an anxiety panic attack. Just wow. Just even the fact that being exposed is too much for this person. So because they lost. Sorry, like that's what you get when you play stupid games and win stupid prizes, you know what I mean? Like I miss hearing your voice, you know what I mean? I do feel like this person's like their guilt and shame, I'm hearing like shame-based religion, like that's going to get exposed to you as well. Again, I'm seeing like with power hungry and stuff like that. Yeah, like this person, again, this could be a parent figure, this could be someone that's important to you, or just someone that's significant in this connection. Yeah, I'm literally like channeling, like, because like right now I'm like feeling my mom, you know, where it's like whenever she'd be thinking about something, and it's just like you're gonna feel it because it's gonna feel like a piece of yourself or a version of yourself. And that's not your truth. Okay. And so this is where please make sure you're grounding when you're around this person because, like, again, it's gonna really suck when the pieces that were being hidden are gonna get exposed to you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know how it's gonna go. And a family might get shattered as a result of this, okay? Especially if there was an affair or if there was some kind of like secret obsession. Yeah, someone's obsessed with you. That's weird. Oh, yeah. So like maybe for example, there's something about like maybe when you were younger this person had an obsession with you, an unhealthy obsession with like childhood or like a childhood wound or something. Ew. Ew. I don't know. There's just something kind of weird where it's like this person. I don't want to say they had a crush on you or like there's some kind of like a weird, like unhealthy connection between like either a mother and a daughter or like some enmeshment or it might not even be like it could also be like daughter-in-law or there's just something inappropriate and some kind of weird possession obsession energy, right? Like someone wants to be the other person or like I don't know. Ew. Ugh. I don't know whatever this is. Again, everybody's situation's different, but it really feels like a inappropriate level of enmeshment between an adult and someone that's younger than them. Because like to me, I'm like, it could even be like your partner's mom and projecting that onto you or like something in a marriage that's just some kind of distortion. Ooh. Ugh. Okay. So now we're gonna get into what is gonna be exposed and like kind of how. I can't do this. I see life differently now. Yeah. Two of Swords. Hills, obstacles to overcome. Goldfish, increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. Crown, honor and respect will come to you. Jug, light-hearted, carefree time. Lion, time to act. And I miss seeing you. Yeah, so again, something got blown out of proportion I feel like, because like this energy of like who is just ugh, like the obsession energy is so distorted, and I don't even know, versus like what is actually getting exposed is actually really, really positive. Okay, so like maybe you guys were very resilient, or like you just said, I can't do this anymore. Like you're just basically like, okay, that's it. Like something about like these are the rules and this is how I'm gonna play it. You know what I mean? Like you basically trashed this image. Um and said, yeah, no, I'm not pretending like everything's okay, or you just basically said, no, I actually want to have a real happy family. And so I'm going to go to this event and I'm going to tell people my story. With the I have too much to lose, you're kind of like in the opposite boat versus this person who's going to get exposed. Again, to you first before things go public, but it's almost like you're in the opposite boat where you're like, I have too much to lose by staying quiet and keeping secrets. You know what I mean? Like, if you're trying to go get married, you're trying to go get published, or you're trying to whatever, like, if you're not truthful and honest, you lose trust with people. You know what I mean? Especially with what you've been through. And with the I miss hearing your voice, like, I feel like this person's gonna try to win sympathy from people, but they can't. Because you have too much to lose. For speaking out. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like you're going to get the benefit of the doubt and you're going to receive some kind of like recognition for what you've done. Because with the obstacles to overcome, increase in material or spiritual growth, like I feel like, again, you're like the opposite of this person. Again, maybe this was like it feels like an older person that you were more mature than this person. Okay. Again, this person could be an aunt. You know, this person could be somebody who is older than you from a different generation, and you were more mature and you handled things right. And so just because you handled things correctly, you're going to get spiritually and financially compensated for it, right? Because it's like, all right, like maybe if there's a lawsuit, I mean, for some of you guys, there's no lawsuit. Other people, yeah. For some people, it's just going to be even seeing life differently. It's going to really be exposed how much you've grown and healed from this person and this dynamic. It's like basically saying, okay, like I don't need to be married to a man to find happiness, right? I don't need to have a wife and kids. You know, I don't need to say and do these things anymore. Like to me, it's like it's not even about queerness or being correct. This really feels like you change fundamentally as a person, and you're like, I don't have to lie about these things. I don't have to feel ashamed. I don't have to go and attack people to get my way. And like you're a leader, right? Because like with this an exciting event, it's almost like you're gonna be maybe unintentionally celebrated. It just depends, but it just kind of feels like a gathering where you're gonna be telling people a call to action, okay, of some kind. And it's really gonna show people who the heck you are, especially to maybe relatives that haven't seen you for years. Or there was lies being spread about you behind your back, you know? And so like when you're on stage, maybe with your person or with whatever, you're having a good life. Suddenly it gets all those mistakes that were made in the past that you were criticized for, or you were being critical about yourself, they're not going to matter. And yeah, there's just a lot of healing, like with Jug, lighthearted, carefree time. Like it's gonna expose how easy things can be without this chaotic person in your life criticizing you. Honor and respect will come to you. Yeah, people are gonna respect the hell out of you when you see the way this person switches up. I'm literally seeing like someone eating like a warhead, and you can almost see the steam coming out of their ears. And you know what? It's kind of like the jury's spoken, the judge has spoken. You know, you can't take certain things back. And there's like going to be a situation in particular that you're going to expose to this person, the person being exposed, that's just going to, blow their mind. They're going to be so upset with you. It doesn't matter. You're going to get the happy marriage at the end of the day. You're going to have the happiness. You put in the effort into it. The thing is, though, with the I can't do this, what's going to be exposed is that you aren't going to be possessed by their energy anymore. You may have to fundamentally cut ties and be like, all right, I know you're this person, this family member, but I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. And you chose to say and do these things. You chose to expose this. You chose to do XYZ instead of trying to confront me, instead of trying to, like, there's like almost like a dissecting of the situation when it's just like, you don't have to. Spirit's like, you already know what this is. So don't lead anybody on and take action. You know? And you already did take action. You already did what you need to do, but there's going to be a little bit of a growth period after this. You know, because like with the I miss seeing you, like I'm kind of smiling because it's like people that were put off by you, were cut off from you, they're going to want to reconnect with you after finding out that the loser loser family member is actually pretty great. You know, things are going to be lighthearted again, and it's like there's just not going to be this negative, nasty, heavy energy going on anymore, you know? And it's kind of like there's always going to be like a stain on your reputation, but again, it just exposes how much you see life differently as a result, you know? Because whatever this energy is, like, something about like, this King of Pentacles ain't coming back, you know? And the thing is too, is like with this person, like, you might be on your own. For some of you, it might just be you and your partner and your happy little family, and that's it. But it's really clearly going to be exposed that you were carrying things behind these cowards back the whole time. You know, and the obstacles to overcome, maybe they used to be mountains, but now they're just rolling hills. You know, and like, yeah, things are going to be tough for you, but really, you're going to be taken care of. You're going to be in a much better financial position when you're no longer... like, it's really going to be exposed when you just can't sustain this anymore. When you're tired of lying, when you're tired of... I was hearing winning, but it's not about winning. It's about the fact that, like, if you have an accomplishment, you choose to go in the opposite direction, right? Like, you don't need all the accolades, and you don't need to... you can just be yourself. You know what I mean? You are no longer defined by your accomplishments. You're defined by love, you know? And this tragedy brought something back to you as a result of the exposure, you know? You're getting your crown. And I just see you're going to be so much happier, you know? And it is going to get exposed how much happier you are as a human being when you're no longer associated with all this, you know? And again, you might hear stuff. You might be loosely adjacent, but it can't touch you anymore. And that's what's going to get exposed, is your secret. Again, it's kind of like suddenly realizing, oh, wait a second, you had a partner? Oh, hey. Because, like, I know what it's like when you have to hide a significant other because other people can't handle it. And it just goes to show, like, this exciting event, you know? It's like, maybe you're going to get married. And it's going to be exposed, and it's like, oh my gosh, you didn't invite your family to the wedding? And it's like, yeah, this is your punishment for, you know, trying to ruin our marriage. You know, there's just so many different obstacles that you've already faced that you don't need to go through it again with these people. You know what I mean? Spirit's just like, yeah, no, you really don't need to. It's not going to change. And you're going to be so much happier. And that's going to be shown to the whole world. And it's going to be very exciting. Congratulations, pile number one. Yeah, but you're going to have to make a decision, though. It is going to be tricky and difficult, especially, like, you know, if kids get involved or a relationship, you know, gets rocky in different areas. Or, I don't know, I think there's just something about, like, what gets exposed. That decision is going to be... you might be a harsher judge than other people, you know? Because there is going to be some judgment, you know? Because, like, especially, like, for example, if you choose to estrange from your family, you know, people are still going to be salty about it, but it's just one more obstacle that you're going to have to make a choice regardless. And I don't know. To me, I'm like, their stuff isn't going to matter because you're going to be super happy with yourself, regardless of if it's estrangement or just putting them on ice or whatever. Just, you know, it's not going to touch you, and it's not going to affect you in the ways that it had to, because you have too much to lose now. You've got happiness and money and yeah. Yeah, and it's just going to make everything even better when people actually see the real you, when you're not feeling like crap all the time and you're not being triggered. So, yeah. All right, y'all. I love this energy for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below if this message resonated with you. If you're interested in booking a reading for your personal situation, links are in the description down below. All right, y'all. I will see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Hello, everyone. You have chosen group number 2, and these are going to be your messages on who is getting exposed and what. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I was feeling a couple different things for your energy. And so specifically, this is about who's getting exposed to you, okay? Because, like, for example, the last pile, there's going to be, like, a big exposure to the whole world, about something that was going on. But for you guys, pile number 2, this is about power, okay, obviously, because we got, like, power hungry. And specifically, you are going to... something's gonna flip a switch in your head about either a discourse you faced or somebody is gonna show you who's boss, okay? Or who the real boss is in the situation. And who's also chomping away and eating everything else around them, right? It's funny because there's like this stupid joke that my sister and I used to talk about all the time in high school, and I'm gonna do it for you, but I just want to let you know that it's kind of loud. So, but it's like basically whenever you see people that get mad when they don't get their way, there's this voice that we use where you go like, "I'm in charge! Oh my god!" Like, it's... yeah, that was what I was hearing in my head, where it's like, it just feels like whoever this person's gonna get exposed is kind of like a whiny baby that can't get their way. Could be malicious, could not be, but, yeah, let's go ahead and pull some cards of, like, who is getting exposed and what's getting exposed about them. Interesting, because to me, who's gonna get exposed is who has real power in this situation. And I feel like that's gonna be you, pile number 2. And I was about to say pile number 1. But yeah, it's kind of like with power, I'm hearing like the word like responsibility and whatnot, and who you are, like, you're hungry. You know what I mean? Like, there's something about the fact that maybe you were disenfranchised in some kind of way. Maybe you went through poverty. Maybe you were starved, intentionally or unintentionally. You struggled. So when you're in charge, you want that because you need it to get your way for survival, versus, you know, again, the I'm in charge type person. That person doesn't have a, like, they feel exposed when you show up. Okay, simply from the standpoint that you're powerful. Like, again, like this energy, I'm feeling it just feels very neutral. Okay, like power is just power. And that role, though, is, it's almost like I'm hearing like role playing. Like maybe there was some kind of I was hearing like devil child, or there was something about like you were powerful and other people used to proclaim things or expose things about you that weren't true. Because I'm feeling like with devil child, it's kind of like, for example, I'm literally getting the analogy of like maybe you were really, really smart as a child, or you were very gifted or intuitive, and family members simply were like, oh, that's the devil talking through this child. Or there's like a love interest that was like secretly resentful or like exposing you to other people when they weren't supposed to. for money or for, I'm thinking of a former friend of mine where, like, so what had happened between us is we had a really great spiritual connection, and then this person sold me out to their family, but, like, by selling out, like, they were basically spreading rumors about me or saying things that we were, like, doing drugs and all this other stuff, which wasn't true, but she kind of exposed herself by telling her family members things that she wasn't supposed to, because I knew that her family members did not have good intentions towards myself or her, because they were control freaks and misinformed. And she ended up turning her back, changing, falling in line, going back to what was safe and secure for her. But also there was no apology on my side, because I'm like, okay, well, you just went and exposed really personal stuff in a bid to try and reconcile with your family, and now they're making me out to be like I'm some evil person, or that I'm a jerk that hurt their kid, when we were in alignment that whole time, and I was helping you, so who's going to get exposed is you, pile number 2, in the best way, which I'm so thankful. Like, last pile was positive, and this pile is also positive, because it's like your power is your power is what you choose to do. Okay? Again, there's like a lot of other cards here, so I'm going to try really hard to be brief as much as possible, but with like the I'm not over you, your power is, your power is going to get exposed by how you use it. With like, I'm not over you, it's kind of like you don't need, it's like who you choose to be around speaks volumes. And it's almost like the way I'm visualizing your power is like you walk in a room and you lock eyes with somebody and it's yours, right? Or that's the perception from other people. And with like the I'm not over you, people know, right? You don't need to dissuade anybody. You don't need to really do much, because with power hungry, it kind of feels like, okay, if I didn't get something, or if I didn't get my way, I'm going to go take it, right? And this could be unintentional, right? Like, this doesn't necessarily mean that you have that because you have integrity, right? You're not going to go and do that, but everybody else knows. Oh my God. And maybe you try to play it off like it ain't that way, but everyone else is like, holy blankety blank. Like, it's kind of like walking up to Bible study and you're like, I don't know, like when I think of like Bible study, right? I think of like small town churches, everybody's usually above the age of 60. And then occasionally you get that young person or whatever. And then it's like imagining some really buff, like war veteran type dude with like shaved head, bald, like comes in and sits down and like he has his battle axe right there for some reason in Bible study. And everyone's just kind of looking at this person and they're like, welcome to Bible school. Can we help you? Like, did you find the wrong place? And you're like, no, this is where I'm meant to be. And everyone just shuts up. So, yeah, so maybe, like, one of your secrets gonna get exposed, or it doesn't feel like it's a secret, though. I think it's just acceptance of your power. That's what's gonna get exposed is, for example, like I don't know why this happened, I'm not financially stable, I don't know what you want. Like, these feel like questions that you've been asking. Maybe other people or yourself. But it's kind of like you're genuinely being like, I don't know why people act this way. And what's going to get exposed to you is like, well, yeah, because you're badass, you're powerful. So like when push comes to shove, you're sitting there being like, okay, I got to like gear up or whatever. And then you blow the door off the hinges. Like, I don't want to say you scare the piss out of people. I mean, it depends. But like with the I'm not financially stable, like you don't That's not necessary for you because of your power, right? It's almost like, and obviously I'm not dismissing your financial situation at all, because like clearly you gain power through adversity, right? But like there's something about like that hunger and yearning means that you're like, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna take it. And people sense that. You know what I mean? Like that gentle giant, you know what I mean? Like that's gonna get exposed to you, that it's like it's not so gentle. You know, and that energy, you know, maybe that needs to come back into balance. Okay, because you were hungry, you know, so you were showing up that kind of way. So then finally, you know, it's kind of like the Bible study example where it's like this big scary Viking dude comes in, and then you're like, all right, well, let's send him to the potluck. All right, we're gonna have a potluck, give him some food, and then after he eats, he's fine. You know, so but I think, you know, people are gonna choose who they associate with, and with you, because you're powerful, you're gonna now understand like, why did this thing not happen? And it's not you. It's what other people feel towards your presence. Okay, so you got the Empress in reverse. Okay, so maybe you're resistant towards feminizing yourself or softening. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, the visualization I'm getting is literally like someone trying to put lipstick on a wolf. Where other people know there's something off with this person. Like, they're like, oh yeah, they're happy and whatever, and like, we're all living our lives and blah, blah, blah. And then you walk in the room and they're like, is she gonna kill me? Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, so this is kind of like where spirit is like, yeah, like when you kind of understand the tone that you were maybe unintentionally or like avoiding looking at because you're powerful, and you're trying to be like, oh, I'm so small and blah, blah. No one's buying that. No, like that doesn't work for someone like you. So it's kind of like when you start owning your power, it shows up as less confusing to other people, because it comes across as either manipulative or terrible to people that are exposed to this energy, right? And again, it's because you went through adversity. You didn't know how to manage it. No one told you. And with like the world energy, you know, maybe you've gone and seen the world, okay? And like the way you talk about things, like people think like, oh my gosh, like for some reason I'm thinking of like the World Trade Center, where it's almost like, wow, you've engaged with like an international community, and like you're so like above and beyond me, and your knowledge is going to get exposed, you know? And maybe the fact that you gain that knowledge, or from that traveling, or from these experiences, you know, you're finally integrating it and suddenly recognizing, wow, like I am different. You like, for example, like if you're that queen, you're not going to be living in bumfuck doing whatever. Like, no offense, like I love nature. I like being out where there's no people. But there's a huge difference between someone who is doing that because they don't have an education, they don't have a desire to make changes, like, or an impact, right? Like, you're the kind of person that is like, okay, yeah, I'll go sit and do Bible study, and then like I'm off to go to Kenya, you know, because I've got some kind of business going on there, or I'm gonna go to Japan next week. You know what I mean? Big fish energy. And that's intimidating to a lot of people. And you're exposing that. Maybe you didn't think that the world was as small as you thought it was. But to a lot of these other people, their world shrinks. And that's easier for them. And you're no longer going to beat yourself up for that. Eight of Pentacles, yeah. What's going to get exposed is your hard work. And it's almost like your choices. Like, it's kind of like you are no longer to be focused on everyone else's stuff. You're going to hone in on you and what your projects you're working on. Because you can see the big picture, so whenever you're working, like, everybody else is gone, right? Because especially, like, if you're on the world's time, if you're on a world stage, you gotta be perfect. And not necessarily, like, perfectionism, but you gotta be on a different level, you know? Able to keep up, major arcana, you know? And you got to be paying attention to where the wind flows and all this other stuff. So you got to be concentrating, and you don't have time to be sitting there being like, oh, I want to talk about this guy who I was dating for 5 minutes that, like, I don't know, there's just something that's gonna get exposed that you're like, you don't care because you got stuff to do. You're on a time crunch now. And people are not gonna be as offended because you're in charge now. You finally have the credentials. People are gonna see the impact that you make long term and big scale. Or they're gonna be really impressed by whatever you're doing. So you're no longer gonna be sabotaging. You know? Four of Cups in reverse. And this isn't to say you're going to dismiss your friends and all this stuff. I just want to clarify that. But it's kind of like, you know, that energy of people that are draining. That they just want your time. They just want to spend energy with someone who's at a higher level than them. And the only reason they had access to you in the past is because you didn't have good boundaries. Or you were trying to be nice. And it's like, come on now. Like, you don't want to spend your time doing these things. You get to make a choice. And again, that's not to say you're not going to go have casual conversations with people, but, like, your time is going to be much more limited, and exclusivity is going to be a huge thing for you. And you're going to enjoy it a lot more than you think. And if people say you're a bitch, then too bad. I'll be like, when you get on the world stage, you don't have time for nonsense. And it's going to feel really good to start saying that again. Yeah, because you are that person. Yeah. Page of Cups in reverse. Four of Cups in reverse. And the Emperor in reverse. Which, it's interesting. You got the Empress and the Emperor in reverse. So what's going to get exposed to you is men are not going to like what you're exposing to your communities. Okay? So these people are used to being in charge. This could also be toxic women as well. But it really feels like you're going to be triggering some men and exposing bad practices. And your words are going to have strength behind it. Right? Because, like, I see you being like, people will try to shoot your opinion down, but it's your voice and your strength. Like, you're charging in a battle. Like, to me, I'm like your daddy. Okay, like, this is you. Pile number 2, like, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a gal or something in between. Like, there's just something about you that, like, I'm sorry, you've got some heavy hitter masculine energy. I'm not gonna lie to you, okay? You can be a woman, and this is not meant to dismiss or diminish your femininity at all, but my God, like, I would not want to see you on the battlefield. That's all I'm gonna say. And, like, the hatred that's going to be exposed. And, like, this is going to be the nasty hungry. Because, like, people, like, it's going to really expose the people that wanted to hurt you in your past. And I think that's going to hurt for a while. But it's something that you need exposure to understand your worth. Because this is, like, a natural progression for a leader. Or leadership in general. Where you have to take a stand that is fully you being in your power when you make certain decisions. When are you going to back down? When are you going to fight? When are you going to move? Okay? And for a lot of people, especially men, that don't like maybe queer people, the people that were put in the shunning category, when they see that you're in charge, you know, there's a lot of times with guys where they're going to ball their fist up, but because their belief system tells them, oh, well, I wouldn't hit a girl, I wouldn't hit blah, 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 or whatever. There's something about you that... I'm sorry, I'm like, I just see, like, the balls of steel, and it's like, they get nervous. You know, like, I'm laughing because I'm like, oh, hell. Like, I don't know what to do with that. Yeah, you're in charge, pile number 2. You're in charge of your life, and, like, and it kind of feels like you're going to also be rescuing some women, too. So, like, for example, in the work environment, no one's going to want to mess with you once you expose who you are. You know? because there's like some kind of a calling you're answering, and you're just like, I'm nobody's bitch. I mean business, and we're gonna go through with this, regardless of what you say. And you know, people are gonna call you nasty and all these other things, but it's like, to me, I'm like, you literally don't even care. That's what I'm saying about this focus. Like, you're gonna be so intentional about your work and your word choices and what you choose to manifest. It's just gonna backfire on so many people on so many different levels, because you take pride in being good at what you do. You had to sit still and wait patiently. You had to work diligently to get where you're at. That power was always yours. It never left you. Okay? But you had to sit quietly. You had to play pretend. You had to play nice to people. Put your hair in a bun and da-da-da-da, I'm dumb. You know? And maybe you were denying it for a while because it would expose that you're different and you were afraid of the consequences. But Spirit's being like, take the damn cup. Come on, we got business to do. You know what I mean? It's like, we've needed a king for a while. And like with the Emperor, like, the Emperor's not just like a king. You know what I mean? Emperor's like, you're the man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, I just keep hearing like, you're a guy. Like, you're in charge. Okay? So act like it. Who cares about gender stereotypes or what people told you who you need to be? And are there certain rules? Yeah, but like with Shepherd, like, there's a certain amount of coaching that you're going to be doing and kind of like reining certain behaviors in and kind of exposing certain things. And like, that's half of leadership, you know what I mean? And because like, that's why, like, with this gender roles, the fact that I keep being like, you're a man, it's like, no. Like, leadership has different flavors and different voices. And like, when I think of like paternal energy, you know, they're not all like Mr. Like, I'm gonna go on the battlefield and lob people's heads off. Like, there's people like Tony Robbins. There's people like Mr. Rogers. There's people like, I don't know. Like, there's other forms of masculinity out there that have never been exposed before, and you have a chance to expose it. You know? And like, especially like with grandfather energy, you know, like, let the old guy who's seen a lot of stuff tell you how it works, how it used to work, and what we can change. You know, you've got a lot of wisdom, pile number 2, and that's going to be exposed to others. And it doesn't matter if they don't like it, because to me, like, there's something about you that you have an approach that maybe you're attractive, or there's something about you that people respect you. I don't know, you're going to get away with whatever secret you're exposing, or there's something, just the fact that people love you, they like what you look like, you fit a certain mold or character and stereotype that really people are just going to respect, hold you in high regards. You know, and again, this is like from an international audience, right? It's like, if you've ever met somebody who, man, like, you sit there and like, it doesn't matter where they came from, what their upbringing was, if they even speak your same language, you look at them, you're like, oh man, that's a special person. You know what I mean? Like, I think of like the Olympics, for example. That's where you see like the world's brightest and their finest. But like, sometimes, like, you know, on YouTube or Instagram or something, you come across somebody that you're like, man, like, they're really special. They really like made an impact on me. And I don't even know what that person said. You know what I mean? It's just someone's vibe. That's the kind of power you guys, you know, pile number 2. And a lot of people want to control that. Okay? They want that power so dang much. And I don't want to say you're untouchable, but I will tell you that you don't need to do much. Because people that have this kind of power, they've got influence, they've got followers, they've got traction. So you set a tone. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, we've got 6 of Wands. So another thing that you're going to expose is victory. Okay? So like, maybe you're going to be able to show others the wins of other people. Okay, so maybe, for example, you're like, all right, I want to do highlight reels on different things, great things that have happened recently to my friends or are going on in the world. And there's something about like you just even uplifting others, highlighting people's wins, helping other people win. Like, and again, this isn't about you. This is about you being in charge and leading people. You're not overshadowing anyone. You're just exposing what other people already have within themselves. Maybe they just need that final little piece of advice, that little shift, and then they go out and shine. But knowing that they have someone powerful to back them up, that's cheering them on, I was going to cry. Like, you have such an amazing influence on other people. And it's something about, like, you have, like, a softness, too, that's going to get exposed that people weren't anticipating, It's kind of like when the big Viking dude comes into sing choir, and you're like, wow, like this person has a really great singing voice. I thought they were violent and narcissistic and all this other stuff. And then, I don't know, it's like maybe you changed or maybe something happened where it's like, wow, like I have even more respect for you now than I did before. And I don't even know how. All right, so what's going to expose to you is money path. So there's some kind of venture. I was hearing like venture capital. Maybe someone wants to invest money in you, but you turn them down or turn them away for ethics reasons. Yeah, I'm seeing like with boat, like it's like a boat carrying gold. Yeah. So what's going to get exposed is your value, but it's almost like, for some reason with the boat, I'm imagining like you can't carry all of your wealth with you into the afterlife. And so your powers, you're going to expose that for what it is, right? Like the one thing I have, so for example, I grew up in a hoarding situation, and I always had a difficult time letting go of belongings, because it's kind of like, well, I'm never going to get this back or whatever. But like it was to a point where I was so used to clinging to things that it was like, oh, it was beautiful. But then you become so distorted that you can't function in life if you're constantly trying to save everything and protect everything and hold on to it, And especially, I mean, like right now, I mean, literally as of today, in France, we have a climate crisis. 40 people died because it was 113 degrees in Europe. You can't bring good things into the world if you don't have a world left. And you're going to expose that. And consolidating power, like with shepherd power, I'm assuming that's a business. But I'm literally kind of feeling that whole idea of like helping people learn to manage their power to keep them from getting exposed to this power hungriness and eating everything, right? Because again, something about you know how to leverage your voice. And leadership comes with a cost. And you know how to do that benefit in a way that benefits others rather than just being like, all right, this is an expense on a spreadsheet. Meanwhile, you're like, all right, well, let's explore that. How do we turn this into our advantage? Do we really need to like cut costs that way? Or are we doing that expense because it saves on the big picture? Like, do we really need all these credit card bills? And we just need one. There's just something about like the way you consolidate power and the way you're gently able to do that. That's going to be exposed to you. Lobster, financial pinch. Yeah, sorry. I'm just like so overwhelmed because there's just like all these different pieces to your story, And like, to me, it's wow, brain short-circuited. To me, it's almost like what's going to be exposed is all the different paths and routes you took. I don't know, you guys probably have a very fascinating story, because like I see this as like almost like, oh yeah, when I was like in college, I went and I did this thing. And then a couple years later, I did this thing. And so like I see you as like a jack of all trades, right? Maybe you had some fling romances that were interesting. Maybe you got a tattoo, during this time period, and, you learn things about that. Like, it's kind of like, I'm thinking of the game Skyrim, where you're customizing your character, right? And you're trying to be like, I'm going to get every single area to be as well versed as possible. And everyone's like, dang, like it's going to be exposed how versatile you are, which that's great formula for being a leader, because then you're not sitting there quietly resenting and being like, oh my gosh, I don't understand how this thing works. You're like, I understand the whole picture and the package underneath, which that is hard. Okay. And then like with compliments from an admirer, yeah, like, oh, the secret crushes, oh, that's gonna get exposed to you, is the people that are just like, woo, you're hot. You're a hot commodity. Tall glass of water. Yeah, I feel like also like the old guard. So like, for example, like maybe you get hired into an executive position and you're just going to be like turning on your coworkers that are just like, I'm old, so I don't really care so much. I'm about to retire. And then you step in and you're like, oh my gosh, you're stepping on necks. But I like this. I like that this is the new generation, because we weren't allowed to say that to our boss back in the day. You've got shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. Hidden secrets can harm you. Deep personal strength and peace that assures success. Great worry over nothing. Career, secret admirer, which I'm going to put this over by the bouquet, because we've got 2 vases here with flowers. Vulture, depression, anxiety, worry that someone's against you. Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. Keep your life in balance. Changes in your life. Page of Swords, Knight of Swords reverse, Queen of Wands, and 5 of Pentacles. Oh, and then 5 of Wands. Okay. So again, trying to summarize this so this reading doesn't take forever. But like what's going to get exposed to you is maybe some fights. So maybe you have a background in fighting, that people maybe didn't take you seriously, and then when they find out that you're a heavy hitter, they're going to walk and talk differently around you. That's going to get exposed to others. And maybe your quiet victories. Victories in your family life. Victories in your passions. You know, I'm seeing like with this snake, okay, it's almost kind of interesting because you have a strange energy in the sense that, again, with the whole Viking energy, right? To some people, they're like, oh my gosh, who's this barbarian thug who's going to come in and threaten us, right? You kind of have a mark like a snake, where it's like, I don't want the snake against me. You know? It's kind of being like, all right, you got that little rigidness, or you've got that little edge that is needed in times of war, or times of when you need that emperor energy to come in. You know? Grandpa's a little old school, but sometimes you need that. You know? And that line of thinking. Because, I mean, like, I've had a pet snake, okay? And snakes are really misunderstood. They're actually pretty sweet. But again, you might unsettle people. But because you have intuition, knowledge, you learned your lessons, and you're balanced. There's some kind of like a secret too. Like, you're gonna get exposed to other people's secrets and their power and strengths as well. So it's almost like as you kind of go about, when you start to learn about your power, you're gonna see it in other people too. So you're gonna be like, okay, that person's an ally. Nah. That conversation, that person said that one thing, that exposed them right there. That's the snake in the room. So, and you're gonna be able to keep quiet about it too. You're gonna be able to look around and be like, okay. This was the snake person. I didn't know that. Now I know. You know? It's all about politics and whatnot. But again, maybe, like with military and stuff like that, maybe you have a background in the military, or there's some kind of like a grittiness to you. Because I'm also seeing too, it's almost like there's like, a cadet, and then now you're like a grizzled soldier with like this beard and stuff. The Knight of Swords in reverse, though, you do have to be careful about how you wield your weapon, how you wield your power. But I'm almost feeling like it's not really going to matter. Because, like, with the financial pinch, I kind of view you as, you're the person that people call when they're in a crisis, right? Where it's like, there's like the old guard, this is the old way of doing things, and then this is you're like, hey, we don't have time for this conversation. I'm just going to be straight right now. We don't have time for this. This is what we got to do, and this is what we got to do. And people just go, okay, we're going to listen to you. And that's where people are going to compliment you behind your back because a lot of people are afraid to be so astute, direct, and mindful. And that's going to give you a lot of victories. And like I said, it's also going to expose who is powerful in the room. Okay, because there's something about for the who, for example, like with this Queen of Wands, right? You got that fire, you got that spark. So like while the Swords is like very intellectual, like Queen of Wands, she's fabulous. Okay, like look at her outfit. Okay, like Queen of Wands, she's creative, she's fiery, she's got a little bit more something. Like she's not just like cold and calculating, she's also like, man, like we're gonna have a good time while doing it too. And that makes other people feel at ease. And like that's your power, is that balance. Yeah, something about like with this hidden secrets. It doesn't really feel relevant to the fox in this case, but like, yeah, something that's also going to get exposed to you guys, pile number 2, is you can be kind of deadly. So choose your words carefully so you don't like crush somebody, because I'm seeing like with the skull, like the cracks and whatever, it's kind of like you can really make people go crazy. You can really hurt people with your words. So please be gentle as much as possible. Because especially too, like I'm thinking, for example, like a baby bird or a baby bunny, like you don't need to threaten the janitor, or like I'm seeing something like with a crosswalk, right? Where it's kind of like, you don't need to scare people into getting your way. And if anything, it's much more effective to be powerful using your eyes and using the language and discernment that you have, right? And it's going to be kind of a secret to you that you hurt people in certain kind of ways, you know? Or like maybe taking damage. Maybe you took damage from other people, right? Because I'm seeing like PTSD a little bit. So it's like, as you're kind of like with your power, you know how to manage it while other people don't. Which that's a huge strength for you guys, pile number 2, is, again, a lot of people, especially people in power, you get traumatized after a certain point, in a certain way of thinking, and because you have self-discipline, right? But you also struggled to get your power. People that are powerful and in charge, they tend to not have this same kind of grit and struggle. So that's why with this skull, the skeletons in your closet may be exposed a little bit. Maybe because you're confrontational, you're gonna get a secret admirer. I don't know. It's just kind of funny because to me, I'm sitting here just like, oh man, like normally, I'd be warning you like, okay, be careful, whatever. But the secret admirer, like, you chose someone, or you chose to speak the truth, and I just really feel like even if there's a backlash, or even if you trigger someone, even if there's a fight, I don't know, I'm seeing like passionate lovers or something like that, where it's almost just being like, okay, like I'm thinking of like Megamind, where it's like a supervillain, like Batman and Joker fighting each other, and everyone jokes that they love each other secretly. It's like, yeah, people love that about you. They like to see you win, And again, with the path with money, there's something about like that combative behavior is compatible with a lot of people, because they have that as well when they're in charge. Again, there's just secret admirer, like there's just someone's gonna get exposed to you as well, where it's just kind of being like, yes, queen, okay, like to me, I kind of view it as like, if you get like a spotlight, and then that one person in the corner where you're like, oh yeah, that person would never pay attention, they're just watching you being like, they're watching your moves and whatever, and like you might be paranoid, but you're gonna have to keep it a secret, because they might just casually like send you an invite or send you a little cash your way, just be like, I like that, keep doing that. Yeah, you might just make friends with some powerful people as well. That's gonna get exposed to you too, is like, you just gotta be very, very careful, watch your mouth, because like certain people, like they'll change up, but like, I don't know, I could just see like a certain celebrity being like, yeah, you make me laugh so hard. Because like with Five of Pentacles is like poverty energy, right? And struggle. But like to me, like this kind of feels something about this energy. It gives me the vibe of like maybe someone who also went through poverty and then they're famous and they worked hard to make money. And I'm like, I'm almost like, I just think of like a rapper. You know what I mean? Someone who's been like gangster or did stuff in the streets. And then you just make them laugh hysterically, you know, or like, you know what I mean? Or like maybe there's like a drug dealer or somebody who mob boss, someone who's been doing some maybe shady stuff. I wouldn't even say that, you know, someone you don't want to mess with, but it's like it's just kind of that energy where it's kind of like everybody speaks the same language. It doesn't matter if you were living in a trailer or a mansion. You know what I mean? Or living on the streets or whatever. Like there's just like this energy of like anybody who's got that grit, they know what's up. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, what you look like. It's like we got it. It's yeah. It's just be careful who you expose online or social media. I don't know, because this energy can backfire really fast too. But I'm just here like relax. You know, it's all in good company. Just flex your stuff. Keep doing you. You know, it's okay to talk about your depression. It's okay. Just keep your life in balance and you're gonna be set. You need to defend yourself. Shield. You're gonna be alright. You're good. You're a good bloke. You're a good person. Pile number 2. Thank you so much for existing here. Anyways, y'all, yeah. This is all gonna be exposed to you over time, but it's gonna be coming up pretty soon, especially with this love interest, this little fight, this little battle. But you're gonna win. You're gonna win. I can't wait to see it. Anyways, y'all, thank you guys so much. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below. If you enjoyed this reading, if you're interested in booking a personal message with me, links are in the description down below. I will see y'all next time, pile number 2. Take care, bye! Hello, everyone. You have chosen group number 3, and these are going to be your messages on who is being exposed and what is being exposed. So already off the bat, this pile feels like a friendship, but there's an obsession tied to this energy, okay? Maybe this person was obsessed with a public figure, or this person was in a conflict with you for some time. I don't know, but this definitely feels like whoever this person is gonna get exposed to you has a lot they've been hiding from you, or there's gonna be a lot that's gonna get exposed. Maybe either right now or to someone else. And I feel like this person's been doing something for quite some time. You know, there's some kind of like a battle they were facing, like so maybe there was like a health issue scare. Maybe you were showing like concern or something for this person, and this person was like, oh, you know, don't you worry about it or whatever. But I'm hearing the word like snatch. Yeah. I don't know how to like place this energy because it definitely feels really like, I don't know, I'm feeling like late nights, truck stops. So maybe this person's a traveler. They get around. They always seem happy and smiley. I was like, maybe they work in the music industry, or because I'm seeing like trucker. So like, again, there's just like a lot of driving that this person does in their free time. Something about them also feels special. So whoever this person is, like, again, you know this person through, they could be like a family member, or you know them through a family member. Could be a community. But yeah, something's gonna get blown out of the, something like got blown out of proportion. And it's gonna get exposed to you and your friend circle. Maybe your friendship is gonna get exposed to someone that wasn't supposed to. So like maybe you were friends with someone who was special to you, right? So maybe you had like, you got a little extra VIP access, and this person casually mentioned it to someone else, and this person was very frustrated, but like, this is like, your secret got exposed to the wrong person. And I'm hearing like the right person, and I was like, but it was exposed in the wrong way. Like, yeah, this person's sneaky and manipulative. Because I was hearing like King of Swords. Because at first I was like, oh, maybe your relationship with like a King of Coins or King of Pentacles got exposed. And I was like, no, it was someone else. So like, again, King of Swords energy is not here right now, but like, so basically whoever this person is who's being exposed to you, pile number 3, this does kind of feel linked to pile 2 for some reason. So for example, like, your power was exposed, or like you're not to be played with, right? So if you kind of like were trying to choose between pile 2 or pile 3, there's something about like, this is another person who's on the opposite side of you. Okay, so this is like maybe a fake friend, someone who is, I'm hearing like crossing the aisle, you know, so it's almost like maybe from a different political belief. It's like, the way I'm seeing it is, it's kind of like being in a church where they're like, okay, well, you know, I was nice and I went to the other side to go sit with you because I wanted to be kind and all that other stuff. Meanwhile, you're like, nah, I don't need to sit with you. We don't have to be friends. No fake friends. Okay. And maybe, yeah, like the way I'm feeling this energy, oh my gosh, I'm just feeling so gross, is like, I just feel like really, really cold. This is like icy. Okay. Like, I don't know if this person's a sociopath or whatever, but there was something about like, you came in and you just did not give a fuck, right? You were like, okay, hey, yeah, we're friends and all that stuff, cool. Oh, wait a second, over here, what's going on here? You know, so like, you immediately like took charge in a situation, or you weren't playing by the rules, this person's rules. They did not like that at all. I'm like immediately thinking of, for those of you that know video games, like Undertale, Flowey the Flower, who you think is your friend at the beginning, and then it tries to kill you. The Fool, like, you, like, this person, oh gosh, some of the negative, nasty energy they feel towards you is like, they called you foolish and stupid. With like the 10 of Pentacles, though, there's something about, though, that they had to keep quiet, right? So like, maybe you were in an environment that, like, to me, I'm seeing this as like maybe an art gallery, or there's like other people that are like in the same rank as you, or like, for example, like, say everybody's friends with the wealthy person, right? And so you get invited to the party and all that other stuff, and so then like, you're part of the friend group, right? But then you circumnavigated and like, you just went off and did your thing, right? Like, you were just networking with people, and even if you weren't networking, like that, like, that's the thing, this person's like really conniving and critical and strategic, right? And they're criticizing you for stuff like, you were just being innocent, right? You're out there just kind of being yourself. You're not really thinking about this stuff because you have power. But the way that this person plays the game is fundamentally different, right? There's strict rules, there's a code, you know what I mean? There's like for example, they introduced you to these connections and these people, and so because you're not going up to them and showing appreciation or kissing their ass or doing whatever, oh man, did you make this person jealous and furious, like angry, because you started maybe talking to someone. Because like, I'm almost seeing like the belle of the ball. It's kind of like, you know, you're just like, all right, I showed up for a good time, and you know, you see the guy over by the punch bowl, and they're like, oh hey, hi, nice to meet you, and you start talking to someone, and that's like, you know, everybody else knows who this person is, right? They're like, this is like a senator's son, or this is like the guy that everybody has crushes on, and so it's kind of like among girl code, like you don't go for the man that everybody wants, right? And you're just like, oh yeah, no, like, I'm seeing like, this person like getting a cigarette, like, let's get a cigarette, let's get a drink or whatever, or let's just kind of like hang out. And this person's like, you didn't ask me for permission to go over there. You went over my head. These are the rules. You know what I mean? And to me, I'm sitting here just like, I beg your finest effing pardon. Like, when did I need to ask you for permission to go about my life? Like, I'm hearing like the word chasing or like chaser. You know what I mean? It's just really weird because this person feels like way over bounds in your relationship and entitlement towards these other people as well. Because again, it's kind of like old school criticism, but to me, I was like, but you're not one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you got connections does not give you permission to tell other people who and what they are. Or like children. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like someone really, they were like dissatisfied with your behavior or something like that. Like, they didn't trust you, or the fact that like you were chosen for something special or a special role. So like, I could definitely see this as like maybe in a work environment. You were like, oh, this is like my work wife. And then you got the promotion or you got access to the VIP club. And like, again, part of it's like, I feel like, you're like this lady, you're beautiful, you're attractive, you've got the whole thing. It just came natural to you. And that's the part that this person cannot stand, is they took all of this time, money, and energy spent to watch you get the man, watch you get the promotion. They feel used up, spent, and left behind because you didn't suck up to them. You didn't cause a scene with this person. Or maybe you did cause a scene, but like, it really doesn't feel like it was that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Like, you're just minding your business. And the amount of spite, like this person, like, you're making a spectacle of yourself. It's like, it's all in their head. And it's like, they're making a choice to be this way. Like, I don't think you guys knew this person was even upset. They didn't confront you. They didn't say anything. Maybe they teased you a little bit and made snide comments about you behind your back or to your face. I don't know. But maybe you missed it. Maybe you were a fool. You know what I mean? But to me, it's like the fool energy, you were just running around having a good time. You didn't have malicious intentions. You were just like, yay, we're running with our friends, whatever. And like, I see this person like running off the cliff. They thought you were going to fall off the cliff. Instead, you kept going. And they were like, what? This doesn't make any sense. How did you overcome this? How did you bounce back? That doesn't make any sense. And like, I feel like this person was kind of plotting to expose you. Or they were trying to like show you something, like the wrong direction. Or they were trying to mislead you or misguide you down a pathway that you didn't fall for. But that's going to get exposed. I miss being with you. I hide my feelings. I want you so badly. Yeah. So there was something that this person wanted that you have, that they wanted to seek revenge against you for. Like, I want you so badly. Like, it's almost like I'm seeing like destiny swap, or this person like, wow, this is like really something about like tarnishing your reputation, like sabotage. Like, this person, they're throwing so much shade. Like, and I guess like for me, I'm like blown away. Like, how could you hate a person this much? Like, this is hate in their heart, for you and towards others, but for you, like, you embody like this happiness that they feel like they're never going to receive or achieve. And again, like, I just keep getting this energy of like, I spent so much time with you, I spent so much money on you and all this other stuff, and I want you to just stop it. You know what I mean? Stop being better, stop whatever it is, and pay attention to me. And it's like, that didn't go in your favor, you know? And then, like, with the Ten of Pentacles, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, there's like the phrase, you know, there's always enough bread to go around. Everybody gets to eat. And this person just doesn't want you to eat. They don't want to sit with you. They don't want whatever. And like, I feel like there's like, it's almost like a gang of people, but like the ringleader, like this person, it's personal, but it's like, it's one sided. This is weird. I'm sorry. Like, I don't like sitting in this energy. It just feels so like nasty. Like, I hide my feelings. Maybe they have feelings for you, but they don't feel like romantic. You know what I mean? They just have like, it just, I'm hearing like the word monster. Like, they don't like you, pile three. Like, there was no relationship from the get go. And like that, I miss being with you. There's something about like self sabotage. Because I'm genuinely sitting here being like, they really didn't care. And it was like, no. And it's like, they, for example, like, they don't like the fact that you swear a lot. Maybe they are. Yeah, I just keep seeing this person keeps trying to be like, you need to be over there. So I could see this person being racist and being like, okay, the people who are not white go over there, or you're the autistic person, so you just go over there, okay? And then they feel comfortable, right? This is like, I'm hearing like the word like white trash or like faux, like, it's like the pseudo classy people, right? The people that are, they believe they're in charge. And because I keep hearing the word like narcissist, and I'm just like, and that just even makes me want to explode, like the anger that I'm like, what is this person hiding towards you? And it's like hiding like some kind of a sabotage. Like, what is this feeling that they're hiding? Sorry. Your intellect arouses me. Maybe they did have a crush on you, but they don't know that that's what that is. I don't know how to feel. I'm recovering. So maybe this person was recovering from narcissistic abuse, but they don't know it, that that's what that is. And so there's something about like, you're smart. You're smart as hell. And like, maybe they tried putting you down, or like this arousal, like, to me, there's something about you that, because you're smart, you make them think and you cause them to navigate certain feelings that they don't like feeling, or they have no truth to back up their belief system. And so it causes them to spiral at night, or they think about things you said and then they're like reflecting and they're just kind of going, I guess this person has a point. And instead of like reflecting on it and changing it, oh my gosh, this is so toxic. Like, I've never felt this way before, guys. Wow. It's so hateful. Like, instead of like feeling inspired or like logical or whatever, they become hateful because you're inspiring. Because you make them feel stupid and they don't like that, they're just going to trash on you. Because they want to be smart. They want to be seen as the best person in the room or whatever. It's like, it's not even about the best person in the room. You just upset the social hierarchy. You upset their plans. I was like making tea, so maybe you made tea with someone, or like, you know, like there's something about like, you guys were just like being cozy. And you stuck your nose in someone else's business when it's just like, you're not in charge of other people's lives. You know, like there's some kind of like, this person felt like they were a secret gatekeeper And that's going to get exposed that they were not. You know what I mean? Because to me, I'm sitting here like this feels like a corporate party, and it's like someone who doesn't even work there. You know, they're also a guest, right? And so then suddenly it's being like the family friend that everyone was kind of like, yeah, you know, but everyone kind of got a weird feeling. But they were like, yeah, sure, they can come. They're a good time. And then you kind of exposed this person's toxicity with the way that they were talking trash. And like this is something I see a lot too, especially with these what's going on behind your back readings is if you're the bright shiny person in the room, okay, you don't say things to other people in a mean malicious way. Like you're allowed to complain, but if everyone's got like kind of the same consensus about certain people, they're like, okay, you know, you have to be special to navigate that. However, in this case, like this person is not special to these other people, right? This person's a narcissist and nasty. And like I'm sorry, like for some reason this just really upsets me because I'm just like just what's going to get revealed is going to be a little hard to hear what this person was saying about you behind your back. They don't even care. It's all spite. Like I'm sorry, this reminds me of like and I'm just going to say it, but it's like it's kind of like so there's like a phenomenon I've noticed with like racist people, for example, where you could sit there and be having a good time or whatever, and then like you're hanging out with like a black friend or a Mexican friend or somebody that's just different from your group, right? And all of a sudden, like when that person leaves, it's like a demon possesses them, or like they just turn into the most awful person and say the most horrible, hateful stuff that you just sit there and you're like, I can't believe you just said that. Like, you know, like that person's my friend. That's a stranger. Like, how could you, like, it's like that sort of energy, right? Where you suddenly understand that person that was very, very sweet and nice to you, it was all a cover. It was all a front. And because people love you, pile number 3, they actually love you. This person they tolerated. Because, like, some people, they can see that a mile away, but because this person either gives them exposure or there's something about, like, maybe someone's friends with someone else's kids or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's all fun. So this man, for example, dealing's a relationship with a man. Okay, so again, this friend could be a male. All right, don't assume that this is a female friend or a coworker. This could be a dude. But like there's something about like they're in disguise. Someone's like kind of watching this situation carefully and closely. I don't know, someone doesn't like you, pile number 3. Um and maybe there was something about like you were getting friendly with someone else that was maybe toxic, or I'm seeing like some kind of like maybe a conflict where someone else doesn't like someone that you were getting close to, pile number 3, or something about you were exposing something unintentionally. Again, just by being a bright, shiny person, right? Because when you draw attention to yourself, unintentionally or not, people pay attention to what's around you. And so when you're hanging out with somebody and that has exposure and brings light to a certain situation, this other person isn't very happy because they don't want that exposed. That energy is like, because this person feels like they were doing, you know, deals or whatever, and there's like quiet arrangements. So this person, though, knew that this person who's going to get exposed as your hater knew something was up between you two. Right? They were like, something's going on here. So then they paid this person to either talk shit behind your back, which no need to do that, but it was specifically they wanted to expose what you were finding. Like this person was just casually being like, let me just see. I just need someone to keep an eye on this person. Are they gonna figure me out? Is this person a rep I'm hearing? like a representative of some kind. Like there's something that they're like, you have a truth about you, pile number 3, that this person doesn't want. They just want to withhold that information just yet. You know? Because like this person, like this is how people make money, right? This person is just like, this is just how this works, right? It's kind of like, this is just the foundation of what this function is, right? To them, it's just business, it's just whatever. And they were just like, I don't like this person because they're not going to play ball. You know? So they got this other person that hates you to catch up and try to sabotage someone close to you. So while you were like running around making friends and having a good time, this person was knocking down pegs the whole way, trying to expose things, leaking things, text messages, missing you, like they were talking about something with you. There's like a gun here, so it's almost like there's like the smoking gun I'm hearing. And maybe like your feelings too. They were like exposing what you were saying. And exposing that, and it was kind of hurtful to someone to hear what you said about them behind closed doors, but it also wasn't like, that was like exposing confidants. You know what I mean? With another person. So I don't really understand, like, I don't feel like you were necessarily hiding your feelings for somebody. Maybe someone was drinking with someone and someone exposed something and it all came out. So maybe you wanted somebody, pile number 3. Like, I could see this being like, oh yeah, I have a crush on so-and-so. But you don't want to really, like, say it because you're like, all right, it's not really appropriate. Or it was kind of just being like, oh yeah, this person's kind of attractive or whatever. And something was hidden. You know, again, a secret crush. And the Fool, my eyes are going back to that. This person, I'm sorry, I'm just feeling really soft because this is just really incredibly hurtful and mean. This person thought they were going to expose you as this person, right? They wanted to make you out to be the bad guy, the villain, to try to ruin this person's marriage relationship. Because they thought that's what was happening. They thought you were hooking up with someone. Oh my gosh. So, they thought, so maybe you got into a relationship that was kind of hidden, right? Someone that you were like, oh, he, this one, because like the word I'm hearing, like celebrity, right? So maybe you got like, oh, you got with like a popular person, right? But you were keeping it on the down low. Well, they thought this was made up. And they thought you were secretly with this other person, right? So they said things that were untrue to the wrong person. And that person was really upset. Because this person wanted that person. And you were just dismissive of that person's feelings because you didn't, I don't know, you seem to be out of the loop with somebody. Some kind of detail or secret was not revealed to you. Something like belonged to you. And it was kind of, you were looking at it in the face, but you didn't realize what was going on. But someone else did. And they took advantage of that situation. 4 of Cups in reverse, though, like, that's a good sign. Like, that's a sign that you are moving towards a better future. And, like, you know, the tears are kind of drying up from a situation. You know, maybe there was a heartbreak and, you know, you're coming back to it. And it's going to get exposed why you were so upset because of what this person said. I'm just feeling like all this like feminine rage that's just really like, I'm just hearing like, what a monster, you know? Like, who gets with their friends and I don't know. I'm hearing like, be careful though, because it's like there's something about like, because at first I was like, oh, well, these people are all conspiring together. And I was like, no, it just kind of feels like I'm seeing like a group of people drinking and having a good time, and like they're not even aware of what's exposed, or to them it's like it's no big deal. You know, like this is all going to be blown out of proportion, you know? Because there's like, I'm hearing like the red right hand from that one song, that guy talking about like basically the murderer with the red right hand, and someone's gonna get caught red-handed for exposing your truth or telling you something that they weren't supposed to. And this is where it's gonna be kind of like a holding up. You know what I mean? It's kind of like someone exposed a work secret that they weren't supposed to tell anybody. Maybe it was someone's wife, maybe it was someone's kid. I don't know why children matter, but there's something about like there was something someone was up to that was not your business. I don't know, like that's the thing, like you didn't say anything though. But like people are trying to pin that on you because you're the bad seed, right? Because of all this stuff. And it was this person who wanted to get in deep with someone else, and they left a paper trail. I'm hearing like left a manager, or like, because like maybe this person was a manager somewhere and they left their job to go expose or do some recon. You know what I mean? Like this person feels very like irresponsible, because it's like, okay, yeah, like you could just go and make money like a normal person, have a 9 to 5, do whatever, but instead, no, I gotta like go and snatch things. Be like, I'm just gonna look through this. Oh, that's why I'm like, to me, I'm like, maybe they're selling information. Because I'm seeing stealing, but I don't think they steal like money, or like, maybe they steal power or time away from people. Like, I don't know. There's just something about that gloved hand where that hand really is like, they go around and they like move the puzzle pieces and like increase distortion about different things. Again, they're gonna get in a lot of trouble, whatever the heck they were doing. Because I don't even think this person realizes how illegal it is what they were doing. Or like the shame that's gonna come as a result of this. Because this person's like, I could have kept doing it if it weren't for you meddling kids. It's like this person genuinely just doesn't care. I was like, someone buy a firearm because they thought someone was coming? Oh no. Maybe the cops got called and sent to someone's house, and it was revealed about how involved and enmeshed this person is. And it was like something with alcohol or whatever. I don't know. Okay, so looking at these other cards, because there's like definitely a story here. Again, only take what resonates, but there's just some kind of like there's a missing piece to this that you're not seeing quite yet, that Spirit's holding off on revealing yet. We've got Claw, be careful, do not take risks. Pale, time to get out of a situation, get back to basics. Involvement with the law, period of frustration, lessons to be learned. December, November, bird perched, waiting for news package letter. Maybe there was, you didn't make a decision, and it was decision-making time. Okay? And this person saw you acting out, quote unquote, maybe acting out a character, or you were playing a role in something. Again, like this is them speaking, like that's what they felt you were doing. Meanwhile, you were minding your business. versus they thought you were trying to, they thought you knew the truth about a certain situation. Again, November timeframe might be important, so that could be like a birthday month. That could also be like going into winter. Like again, November, December timeframe could have been significant for someone, or like a conversation. And I just see someone like spilling their guts to this other person. And like with all the snow too, it's kind of like with wintertime, maybe you were stuck in a homeostasis for a while. Pile number 3, where it's like I'm almost seeing like everything's cold and whatever, but then when you were around these people, you were lighting up, right? And you were happy. And so suddenly it got exposed how you're very different from this person, pile number 3, because you choose who you want to spend time with. You're not walking around in a trench coat or whatever. You're just maybe a little different. It's kind of like, oh God. I'm seeing like, I'm getting the scenario of, I don't know if any of y'all see that cringy YouTuber who he makes fun of certain types of socially awkward people, where he shows up in flip-flops and a trench coat and he goes like, now listen here, and it's like kind of cringy coded, some kind of gamer, autistic, whatever type of person. Basically, it's kind of like people saw the trench coat and they thought, oh, this is like the shady masked guy, and then you walked up and then they found out, oh God, you're strange. Okay? But you're likable. Okay? And so when this person couldn't pull off the fact that they couldn't prove you were a bad person, they had to backpedal. And then maybe they'd like spend time with you to get their record straight. It sort of exposed how upset you were. Or maybe you exposed how upset you were, so they couldn't. So that's another thing that backfired in their plan, is because you were open and honest with someone about how you were feeling, how you missed what was happening, and all this other stuff, and like how badly you wanted and needed something. This person's plan didn't work because you were upfront with how you felt. So you couldn't lie. And what happened was maybe this person was trying to go behind your back and was talking to someone else, which I'm like, it's like a friend of a friend who then went and told this person, and this person was like, interesting. This isn't what this person shared with me. And that sharing of truth back and forth, someone else was hiding their feelings as well, but they were on your side. So like with this King of Pentacles, like money, I'm feeling like a revenge fund of some kind, involvement with the law. So again, so maybe there was like some kind of like a scandal. I'm feeling like a company or a business or whatever, and it's kind of like, all right, well, the law firm's involved and blah, 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 blah. And so obviously they have to check things. Well, this person knew, that other person that paid this person to kind of keep an eye out, this person knew there was some kind of secret being withheld from them in particular, which they're not used to. They're used to being like, all right, well, I'm one of the executive people, so they're naturally going to tell me or pull me in to this call. But they did not, for once, because you were a little sneaky tattletale and told this King of Pentacles, or someone who knows the King of Pentacles, what was going on. And it was like some kind of like they caught something that raised a flag, and it's exposing what this person was up to. But it wasn't clear to that person. And so like with the law enforcement coming in with this other thing, that's how it got exposed to you, is through this other thing. Because people were suddenly looking at stuff with a specific lens, and then that's when Spirit was literally pointing, look right here. Which you knew, but no one else knew how you knew. And because you were hiding your feelings the whole time, you were just like, listen, I don't know. But this guy saw you. as being sneaky. They thought you were being sneaky. Meanwhile, you're just like, I'm just doing my job. You know what I mean? So please be careful with who you share your intuitive insights with pile number 3, because like sometimes it's like you're like, yay, I want to be friends with everyone. It's like, no. And there's something like with period, right? Like there was just a period of time where with whatever was going on with this legal issue, you didn't back down. You stayed firm in your beliefs. And so maybe someone hired a private investigator. And that's how you got exposed to all kinds of stuff. Because they didn't want you to think or feel that you were my eye just was like drawn to like, I want you so badly. So maybe someone protected you. Like some kind of a private investigator protected you from a surprise, a love interest. They hid something about you from the spotlight intentionally. Aww. So this person was like kind of like watching you out of the corner of their eye because they wanted you to stay away from this person. And they weren't sure if you knew until they saw that you're just like la-di-da-di-da-di-da. You're like out here having fun. But like when the bucket spilled, you know, crying over spilled milk, I mean, you kicked the bucket and ran. Maybe you ran from the wrong person, maybe. But by that point, it was too late. It was kind of like, yeah, well, that person's gone. And so this person had to think fast and strategically about this gavel or this gavel person. Because they're like, all right, we got to get someone else involved here because this person is showing up maybe in their tarot readings or whatever. And the I miss being with you, like this person started being like, hey, I'm starting to notice you're not including me in this discussion. Or like, you know, you guys are starting to, you know, like you're making plans for some kind of an exit and I don't like that, you know? And again, like this kid that was involved, maybe this kid overheard something that you were exposing or talking to someone. Again, like I'm seeing like you with like this cigarette just kind of sitting here just like you're just casually talking, living your life, and like nobody else kind of knew but you how deep this goes, especially with this friend. And this like feels like a family friend who was kind of a traitor or a turncoat towards this other family. Yeah, towards this family. And like December like turned, I'm also hearing like the word August. Oh, wow. This is a lot. Pile number 3. And again, everyone's situation's different, but like with this November, like I don't know if August is going to be an important time frame between you and this person, because this person, whoever this PI person or this person's kind of like, not like a hero in this situation, but this person knew that you were onto something right off the bat. And so this person was like, I'm not going to say anything, but I'm going to go and I was hearing like the word preach. I'm gonna go ahead and have a discussion about something, getting back to basics, right? And being like, maybe we should just trust this person's instinct and then try this. And so then that's when all the filtering and the sorting out's gonna be. So anyways, though, long story short, within this tale, you know, the truth's gonna come out. And Spirit's kind of pointing towards the bullseye, right? You hit the nail on the head. So good job, pile number 3. As for this person, what's going to get exposed to you or through you is this person's nasty. Like, again, maybe they have like a colorful aesthetic. Maybe this person talks shit. Yeah, because this feels like toxic family. Um, oh my gosh, maybe they tried sleeping with someone who was married, or they tried to get with someone whose back was towards them, caught red-handed, having an affair with somebody that they weren't supposed to. I don't know. You're very wise, pile number 3. That's for sure. And there's something about like this King of Pentacles person saw that right off the bat, that you were like, I'm playing my cards right, and you're gonna be rewarded for it, like tenfold, because you chose integrity and you did this person a service for exposing this malicious person. And there's just something about like you're gonna be left alone. Like, these people, like, they're gonna do their best to kind of keep you out of the spotlight. This person's going to prison, and you're gonna get the help you need, and you're gonna get what you wanted. I guess at the end of the day, something with this like 7 of swords too. That's all about like, moving on towards a better future, but like in the reverse, it's all about like being stuck in the past, right? And that's another thing with this person. Who they are is they're always like struggling. They stay in the past for way too long. They hide those feelings, and like that's what's also getting exposed, is like the stuff from the past. Like, again, you could have said one thing the wrong way to this person, and they're never gonna let you forget it. And so you gotta play like clue finder to figure out what you even said. Yeah, so I don't know if there's gonna be a trial in November, but I'm seeing like with the waiting for news package letter. This is like the second time about whatever this saga is that I've seen about like news coming. So again, maybe you'll see something on the news, or someone's gonna talk to you. Maybe your person's gonna reach out and say, hey, I didn't know you were involved with this. Oh, okay, this is about this other guy who is protecting you. Ah. I was hearing like losing a marriage. I don't know. I'm just hearing, though, pile number 3, be careful, because like someone's not good for you, or someone's not good enough, as this person's putting it. And I don't know if there's like kids involved or there's something, but just be very, very polite towards everyone involved in this situation until these secrets get involved. Because you should be hiding your feelings towards this person and these other situations, because you want to make sure that this doesn't backfire, because there's a divine plan at play, right? And this stuff needs to stay hidden until it's about ready to be exposed. So, again, whenever you find this message, you'll know what you're looking at when you see it. But it's kind of like for your eyes only. But it is time to get out of a situation, pack your bags away from this person, traveling, clear your head out a little bit, because I know this is going to be a lot. And just remember that, you have a gift and you're really supported, okay? And like this King of Pentacles is like, oh my gosh, like they're so over the moon with you, and very protective of you. And they are a safe person, and they absolutely adore your light. So, I'm seeing like long hair. But just be careful in this situation, because there's a lot of swords and daggers out right now, and you don't need to do more than your fair share with this situation, okay? Let Spirit take care of it. And again, November might be significant for you. I'm hearing like November, the 5th of November. Because I'm also seeing like anonymous. I don't know. Interesting. Because I was like, it's like a conspiracy theory? I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, though, I'm also hearing the word Enron too. I miss being with you. Yeah, maybe someone was just really caught up in work. And I feel like this person just wants to have you around permanently. So, and this person is someone you can trust, right? Because it's like, especially like in these kinds of worlds and environments, there's all kinds of like scary, nasty people. So when you find a good one, someone who's willing to, you know, take charge and initiative and do the right thing, you know, they spend a lot of time weeding people out, weeding you out, waiting to see, all right, are you going to meet the qualifications? And so I think this person, they're going to have a discussion with you, maybe a couple, to kind of see if you're, you know, they're just going to expose who they are, you know, in actuality, right? Maybe they're an inheritor of someone, a son or a public figure or some kind. That said, though, like, I feel like it's like the kind of public figure, though, that's not like everybody and their mother knows. It's like, I think of like someone who is famous within their world, you know, of stuff and has power. Maybe something that you moved on from in the past, in your past. But yeah, there's a lot of love here. Aww. Yeah, it's wow. Like this King of Pentacles really loves you a lot. So, aw, okay. Well, anyways, that's also gonna get exposed to you. I mean, this person's gonna be jealous, but it's kind of like I don't know what's gonna happen to this person because, quite frankly, everyone's situation is different. But there's something Spirit's just like, keep your eye on the target. Don't lose hope. Just when this gets exposed, you'll know what to do. It's gonna be hidden. All right. Also, like, any other hidden truths we got here? I daydream about a life with you. I want you back. Aww. I trusted you. And I do love you. Aww. Oh, this is so beautiful. I daydream about a life with you. Yeah, I really don't get the vibe you know who this person is. Or that they even wanted you to begin with. I know you don't feel the same. Oh my gosh. Were you chasing after the wrong person? Oh. Dang, poor Mr. King of Pentacles. Well, newsflash, you know, I think your love interest is going to be vastly overshadowed by whatever this person is going to reveal to you. I daydream about a life with you. Oh, you're going to be really happy with this person. I want you back. Yeah. But like already I'm feeling like you think it's going to be this person, but I was like, no, Spirit's not saying anything about who this person is. I'm like, but who is it? Who is this person? I trusted you. Yeah. So to me, it's kind of like someone saw you for what you were. They trusted your judgment. Yeah. I daydream about a life with you. I do love you. I know you don't feel the same. Okay, well, we're gonna find that out real fast. If you do feel the same. Because, I don't know, I think this person definitely gets in their head about somebody or something, and I'm just sitting here like, what? Okay. Mr. King of Pentacles being like, oh, they only like guys like this, and it's just like, why? Involvement with the law. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. This is gonna have a very happy ending, and it's just kind of funny and ironic because it's like you were the fool the whole time, and that's what's gonna get exposed too. Is you were literally just like, I genuinely have no idea what's happening here, and that's gonna be hilarious. I don't know why I'm also hearing like Uncle Ruckus too. Weird. Yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below if this resonated with you. I genuinely have no idea what's going on here. So, yeah. Thank y'all, and I will see you all next time. Take care, bye. Hello everyone, you have chosen pile number 4, and these are going to be your messages on who is going to get exposed to you and for what. So, I don't know, something about this feels like either romantic or there was like some kind of heartbreak over someone, or like an obsession's over, or like, again, I don't know why obsession has been kind of coming out in all these different piles. I feel like this doesn't feel like the bad obsession. This feels more of like, no, I was genuinely interested in this person, you know, and then you showed up differently. You know what I mean? I feel like there might be a little bit of entanglement and enmeshment here, but there's some kind of like, you don't know what it is that you don't know. Okay, and it's interesting, I guess I'm supposed to mention, I took a break in between piles because I'm recording these late at night, and I'm a little sleepy and just feeling depressed and melancholy, and I was listening to this playlist of music of I love you, but I can't have you. You know, it's kind of just a melancholic energy, and that's what this feels like between you and this other person. But it feels like an attachment, if that makes any sense. You know? And it's kind of like, it feels like you were never meant to be with someone. And so it's like with this cup of tea, it just feels like, oh wow, jeez. Let me toss that card. I want to look at that. Fox, shrewdness, interesting. Maybe there was a fox in the hen house that you showed to someone in particular. Because it was kind of like, sorry about that, for some reason it cut out. But yeah, I was talking about fox in the hen house. Yeah, and it's also like, it's like this cup of tea's been sitting out for so long that it's like lukewarm, you know? And like, I don't know, maybe maybe a spark died out between you and someone else. I don't know. But anyways, we're going to figure out who's going to get exposed to you. And then we're going to see like about what. Which already off the bat, I feel like there's like a potential love interest that you has something doesn't make sense to you. Okay? And like that's what's going to get exposed is who this person is and what it is that went on with a certain situation. Because it feels like with this hot cup of tea, like, there's some kind of gossip you heard that was misleading in regards to a situation around, I was like, a breakup, but it really wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, there's some kind of, like, facade that you saw through, but then you didn't play ball with someone. And that was, like, kind of your loss. I mean, also hearing, like, lost and found. You know what I mean? Where you managed to turn someone against someone else and into your favor, or into your wheelhouse. Maybe without realizing it. I'm feeling like pulling my hair back, you know? So, like, maybe you went through some kind of a change of some kind. Changed appearances, or kind of, like, you know, you took the time to focus on you. You got down to business and brass tacks, and you're like, all right, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm just gonna do this. And you blew something out of the water. But it's like, because you did that, I'm almost seeing, like, again, the metaphor of blowing something out of a water, where it's like there's like a fish out of water that just kind of like, this spark caused someone to get out of their environment and something that was going on between you two to really kind of get an idea for what it is you were exposed with. I don't know. It's like so weird because like I feel like I'm living like a parallel life, or like I'm like channeling thoughts and feelings inside of my head that aren't mine, or like right now, for example, I want to eat a snack. And there's something about like you're at the table, or maybe there was like a dinner where you came up in a conversation that was important. I'm seeing like herbal tea, or like there's something like really earthy and earth-based, so I'm seeing like some kind of like a maybe organic shop, or like drinking tea or something. Like something's just really kind of cozy with this, between you and this person, and maybe you make this person feel very comfortable, right? So who this person is going to get exposed is, I'm not over you, which I don't think you know. Like there's something about like maybe you felt this person's feelings for a long time and you didn't know it, or you were sort of like, maybe there's something taboo, or like with the do I still have a chance, like this person's like been I was like on you for several decades. And I feel like you really didn't know who this person was. Like with I'm not over you, it's kind of like, again, I get the vibe like you were with someone else and you don't know what you meant to this person at that time. Yeah, I'm hearing like the time frame like college. I'm thinking of yeah, I was thinking specifically of like my college experience in the dormitories, where like, I don't know, there was like different events I would host and whatever, and for some reason with this tea, for some reason I'm hearing about like Tuesday's Tarot and Tea, which I was like, that was a live stream I did in the past, but this feels like specifically like a coffee shop that was local to where I went to college, and hanging out there, which I was like, I really didn't hang out there, but like, yeah, I just keep hearing you don't know who this person is. I miss seeing you. So maybe this was someone you saw on a reoccurring basis. So maybe you were with your friends. Again, I see like going to a coffee shop or going to some kind of a place all the time, and then you stop showing up, And then this person's like, oh, where's pile number 4? And everyone's like, yeah, they just moved on, and they were devastated that they didn't get to see you. Because it's like, it's something about like, again, I get the vibe like this is a morning person or whatever, but like they would take the time to maybe like message you or say good morning to you, or like they, it was kind of just like this like casual whatever, saying hi in passing. And then like, I want to make amends. So it's almost like, I feel like this person feels bad for not really truly introducing themselves to you, or maybe they didn't show up to one of your events. Maybe they were acting kind of toxic and bullheaded at the time. Heart, great happiness. So there's something about you or this person, they really hid. I'm here like stop, and I was like, what? Okay, so I'm back. Yeah, because like I keep sitting with this energy with this person. It's like really hard to ground. Maybe this is this person's energy or your energy, but there's something about just really needing to like take a time out. Like there's something overwhelming about this connection. And so, like, maybe someone had some health issues. I'm seeing that. Um, some stress. Another thing, too, because I kept feeling like they thought you were younger than what you actually were. Or there's some kind of, like, an energy of, like, someone wasn't as they appeared, you know? And so that's why this person maybe didn't take certain things seriously, or there was, like, again, something about, like, with these mice, there was, like, something else, some kind of chaos or thing that was going around, because I'm seeing, like, things like skittering around. It says discord amongst friends and family. Yeah, so maybe there was, like, friendship trouble or whatever. Yeah, because my vibe is, like, it really feels like I'm thinking of, like, my college time frame. And that could also be a relevant age range for you guys. Pile number 4. Um, yeah, all these interruptions. Okay, because maybe that's something that happened in both of your lives, or between the two of you, where it'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, let's catch up. Oh, no. Oh, no, yeah, okay. Yeah, so with the I want to make amends, whoever this person is, they want to apologize to you so badly for something that they said to you that I don't know if there was like, I'm almost hearing like conflicting schedules, or there was like something in the past that came between the two of you that like, again, I see you guys like getting coffee or doing something together that's like really kind of cozy, hanging out every once in a while, and this person's like, they want to expose their truth to you about what was going on at that time period. Because there's almost like something about like they weren't able to address something, like something was like kind of falling apart or falling away. Maybe someone was struggling with alcoholism and they didn't want to expose that to you at that time, or like maybe someone was quietly going through rehab. What's gonna get exposed to you though is like the most difficult part of the situation is over. Yeah, so maybe someone came out of something better, but there was like a mistake that they made. Maybe they didn't realize you were queer, or maybe they didn't realize they were queer, or there was like some kind of just like a yay, I don't know, like they just want things to go back to normal between the two of you. And I don't think you knew how upset your decision to end your friendship impacted them. Like, there's just something about, like, with this rainbow, it was kind of like they were really, really sad and crushed because you made them happy. You will be playing a different role. Yeah, so there's something about, like, this, what this person wants to expose is, like, they definitely feel ashamed about how your connection made them feel. With, like, the hat or whatever, like, maybe they had to, it's almost like they're like, did I lose my mind? You know what I mean? When I was talking to this person? Because I'm literally seeing the hat and then there's like no head underneath it. And there's just something about like, there's something about like maybe the way they were speaking to you or how they acted in a certain situation. They're like, what? So I definitely feel like they're gonna sweet talk you, or they're definitely gonna try like schmoozing you up a bit, buttering you up to try to have a healthier conversation with you than the last time you encountered each other. With like this Discord, I don't know, maybe you guys sent a message online, because I'm feeling like Discord as in like the video game messaging app. So that might be significant. Maybe that's how they're gonna message you, so that way it's like anonymous or something. But with mice, yeah, it's just like I feel like there were like rats in your midst, and that's what was distorting your decision to walk away. Like misinformation, or it's like there's just something about like I feel like there's like a rat infested place where it's like you caught them in the middle of like their downward spiral. And so they're like, now that this person's coming around and cleaning up the mess, there's all kinds of these little like either messages or people that were kind of just like just sowing seeds of discourse that didn't need to be that way, you know. And like you kind of saw through that, However, you didn't know which was which, and you were just trying to be nice, towards someone's family or someone's situation. But that Discord definitely like struck a nerve, because I'm feeling with this harp, like maybe this person's a musician, or there's some kind of like invisible hand at play. I don't know. There's like a couple different metaphors here. Success. So this person, like, they view you as successful, okay? And so whoever this person is, what they're going to expose to you or for you is your success, right? So I feel like this person sees you have a great work ethic. They know that God, I'm all tongue-tied. They're like, they know that you're someone who is responsible and reliable, who you say how you feel, right? And you take responsibility for your actions and your words. And that person really likes that. And they find that, again, you're successful for whatever it is you do. So it's not like maybe they had a misinterpretation from the past because you were open and honest about your struggles in your past, but then as time kind of slowly exposed you to be someone worthwhile and trustworthy, it's almost like there was kind of like safety scissors that were happening, which I don't know what that means. I don't know why too, but when I was talking, I was thinking of Vinny from Vine Sauce, where there's kind of like this unconventional approach to things. With scissors, disappointment in some affair. Yeah, so I feel like when you let go of this connection. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't know if this like pushed this person to be suicidal. I mean, that doesn't go for everyone, but like literally the sadness I just had was like, it's kind of like your hope was gone. Because to me, it was kind of like losing a best friend and you didn't realize it. And with this parrot, it's almost like they were like repeating things that you said to someone else. Talking about like how amazing you were and blah, blah, blah. It's like someone will gossip about all your secrets. Yeah, I feel like what's going to expose is this person knows you were talking shit to someone else. And that shit talking sort of exposed why you said the way that you feel. And that's what kind of showed some of the mice, what was happening, because they were suddenly realizing, whoa, I didn't see it from their perspective. Because I thought they were, like, that wasn't my truth, But because, the tea was kind of left out, like the offer was kind of left out there, maybe you proposed an offer to this person and they just let it slide because they weren't thinking anything of it. And like with this great happiness, it was kind of like they thought they were happy with someone else at the time. At the time of those messages and whatever. And then slowly, as time kind of wore on, it's kind of like taking the herbal medicine versus like something sugary, where it's like, okay, I got the temporary high from this experience, but it made me feel sick in the end. And then now it's like, actually, I do like herbal teas. I do like eating my vegetables because I don't feel so crappy. And it was kind of like after being exposed to the rainbow and that healing, like, I just think you really didn't understand what you meant to this person. And maybe to this person's family as well. Because this person was like saying your praises behind closed doors, and it's like, oh. And like they saw how the spark left this person's eyes after you walked away. And again, it's just what exposed all the mice and rats in this person's life. So they took it upon themselves to go like, okay, like this could be metaphorically speaking, being like, okay, like maybe I had an addiction to this, or maybe I was too harsh in this situation. And they started cleaning things up and cleaning the mess up, which that already their family and friends were just like, what? He did this? And I think, like, what's going to get exposed to you is, like, this person views you as, like, family. You know, there's something about, like, with childhood, like, you're like a childhood fantasy for them, but you also make them feel childlike. Because with this Ten of Cups here, you know, you expose to them what they want and desire in a home, in a family. So when you left so suddenly, those changes just, I don't know if this person became way more peaceful or started focusing on finding inner peace or valuing it more, because there was something about, like, maybe before I was like, maybe they could be kind of warlike or like a warlock. Was like really kind of just mean and bitter to people, and then you expose to them how harsh they sounded to someone, and they are like, I never want pile number 4 to see me this way ever again. You know? Like, it was like, that was like immediate rat poison right there, where they were just like, wow, I can't believe I showed up this way towards someone I cared about. And so, like, with this Four of Coins, you know, they weren't prepared for what you were going to expose them to. So whoever this person was, there was some kind of a financial interest they had in your connection. So maybe they had, like, there was like a business partnership or relationship, or there was some kind of, like, they saw you as a prize or like a prize winner, but they didn't know that you were gonna last. You know what I mean? Or leave a lasting impression, right? Like, maybe someone likes Norse mythology, or there's some kind of, like, a target. Like, you were kind of target practice for them, where it was like, okay, so if I can not, like, conquer this person, but it was kind of like, if I can, like, win brownie points with this person, or if I can sleep with them, or if I can whatever schmooze, then that's a good sign that I'm in the right direction, right? Because you were kind of like an obstacle to them almost. But then slowly, as they started to realize their emotions and feelings and thoughts for you, they were like, oh, I want to make amends. And by the time they realized it, you were already halfway out the door. So whenever you were fed up and made a mistake, quote unquote, this person went, yeah, I've had it. You know, I don't want to be a part of whatever this, there's something like a fake peace keeping that they didn't realize was true and necessary. And so, like, there was something about, like, it just sort of gave them, like, you gave them the spark of hope, and so then when you left, it was like a heart attack. Like, it feels like I couldn't breathe without this person suddenly. And it wasn't that you exposed what they did, it was what they didn't have. And it's kind of like having 5 cups and just knocking them all away. You know, where it's like they were only living half of a life. And you exposed that to them. And there was something about, like, it was just no good for them anymore. You know? And it was their time to leave anyway, but, like, with the Wheel of Fortune, you know, they see you as fortunate. Whoever this person is knows that you have boundaries up, you have your guard up. I'm seeing some kind of like a director too. So, like, this person has knowledge. They have a lot of secrets, and maybe family secrets that they've kept behind closed doors for many, many years. Simply because, like, that's what kind of keeps the wheel turning. You know, I'm seeing, like, cranking. So, like, I feel like this person, they're in charge of something, right? Whether a project or, like, a leader of some kind. Maybe someone was in the military, because I'm seeing, like, with the eagle. I just keep feeling you're projecting something onto the situation with this person because you don't understand what it takes for them to sort things out. I'm seeing, like, don't tread on me with the snake. because I was like, someone like a Republican or someone like, I don't know, like, I just see this energy of like, I'm hearing like the Paradise by Coldplay, where they're like talking about like the wheel breaking the butterfly. And it's just kind of like this person's just used to grinding through life, you know, and keeping like a stone face, and you just, you know, you don't really care who you run over. And like, I'm hearing just like be careful, you know, around this person. And it's just kind of like they feel like you're so delicate. So when you kind of showed up and showed them your guns or your teeth and they didn't run you over, like you didn't back down, it sort of upset them because they're used to kind of people just laying down and taking it. Because they're like, well, you just don't take it personally, you know? So I could see that like maybe someone from like a harsher upbringing or like a, not like an abusive dad or partner, but like definitely like kind of like just being really like cold to get your way. And everyone else is just used to it by now from them. And you're not used to it. So you're like, hello. And so like with do I still have a chance? Like that's like on their mind, like constantly. Because they're like, can I even apologize? How can I possibly fix it with this person? Because like even then I was like about to say, I was like, they're all I have. And with the 9 of Cups in reverse, I feel like maybe you made plans of some sort without this person's consent or connection, or there was some kind of like a fulfillment or like a mismatch at the time between the two of you. And you didn't know, maybe you didn't know that this person was away at the time. Again, maybe rehab, maybe doing smoking or doing some ayahuasca, whatever ceremony thing. But with like the 9 of Cups in reverse though, so 9 of Cups upright is all about like mental and emotional fulfillment, personal fulfillment. And in the reverse, it just feels like this person's been disturbed. So you were like something about you and your connection or your discernment disturbed them and kind of woke them up, if that makes sense. 4 of Wands in reverse, like maybe there was a moment that was supposed to be like they're getting their laurels and they were super excited to see you, and then when you weren't there, you didn't show, and then your friends couldn't like address what had happened. Like maybe there was some kind of an obsession or whatever, an obsessive loop and cycle where when you left, it just sort of made this person realize, holy shit, I didn't realize what I meant to this person. Or like discord. So like maybe there was like some kind of like they didn't actually think you were that upset or angry. I'm hearing like 10 out of 10. So like maybe you did something right. Yeah, and there's something like with the 4 of Wands, you know, 4 of Wands upright is all about celebration and spending time with people. And like reunions and stuff like that. And there was just something about like you didn't come home. Like it's not over. And I think like this person realized they made a mistake. So again, there was like an event that you were supposed to go to. And then when you didn't, like there was something funny about the way you did it too, because they were like, wait a second, like why would they do this and say this way, but then they didn't do this? And it left some sort of an impression or impact on them until they realized that they thought you, like there was some kind of a lesson that they couldn't handle when they were younger. Again, maybe due to like abuse. But then they kind of saw your worth you know, because I keep seeing like these diamonds. It's kind of suddenly being like, oh wow, there's like a pattern here. Like this person actually was like that, and then they saw you going out and taking risks and chances on others and success, and maybe you lost your head, but like, I don't know, you kept your head about you versus this person couldn't do that. Aw, harps. That's why I was like, oh, does someone play guitar or like a string instrument? I don't know, maybe someone was listening to your music or music choices. Yeah, I just keep seeing like this person wants to make amends. And it's just someone who's not over you. Again, I'm seeing the word 10 again. Maybe 2010. 10 out of 10. I don't know, but like, for some reason though, like I'm having a hard time figuring out like who is this person? Because to me, I was like, this could be a couple different people for some of you. Like, who is this person, Spirit? I mean, again, this is a general reading, but I want like more specifics. Like, who is this person, Spirit? Maybe it's someone like they didn't want you to know how much they felt for you. Maybe because they had mixed feelings. They weren't sure if this was going to work. Maybe they dismissed you based off of something you said to someone else. Owl, good advice from a wise person. Bat, take care. Enemies are working against you. Chair, filled. Someone new is entering your life. Throne, position of authority. Eye, psychic ability, trust your intuition. And diamond, you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. And once again, we got diamonds again. So 3 of diamonds. So maybe someone likes playing cards or like poker, or they got a good poker face. Immediately I was thinking like Lady Gaga, like mama, mama, my poker face. Mama, poker face. Which that's interesting because poker face is all about like, you know, having sex with somebody that you're pretending that you're enjoying sex with them when really you're fantasizing about someone else. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I'm seeing take care. Enemies are working against you. So there's something about whoever this person is, like, they feel very protective over you. And maybe they shielded you from somebody or something. Because with this bat, I'm seeing, like, the way its wings are kind of out protecting. And originally when I saw enemies are working against you, I thought it was, like, working with you. So it was like maybe you had friends who were enemies. In secret. With Owl, good advice from a wise person. Yeah, maybe you gave this person some good advice about their health or their mental health. I'm seeing like also like clear eyes too, so maybe you were very objective about somebody or something. Throne, position of authority. Okay, yeah, so that's more confirmation about the authority figure thing. Someone new is entering your life. I just feel like this person operates from the shadows. Or the shallow, right? Maybe they're very much like, yeah, I only keep like very surface level conversations and whatever. And then you kind of came in and blew that out of the water and were like, yeah, no, I'm going to call you out on something specific. Or like, there's something extraordinary, I guess, apparently, about some interaction you guys had. Because, like, with this guy, it's like I'm almost seeing, like, a Chinese emperor, you know, where it's, like, in Chinese culture back in the day, you know, you were never supposed to make eye contact with authority figures. So you'd never see their face because they were considered, like, you know, godlike. And so maybe this is kind of one of those tales where it's like, well, maybe you were never able to fully, like, meet this person formally. You know, it was always kind of in like a, yeah, you know, I just show up and do my song and dance with them and then I leave. You know? Because this person has like weight. Maybe someone lifts weights. Yeah, psychic ability, trust your intuition. So another thing about this person is they caught your eye because of spiritual, maybe spiritual business. So maybe someone does have a spiritual business or practice. Maybe someone goes to church. But there's something like with the eye is like, this is a person that caught your eye and you didn't believe them. When you didn't believe what you saw, if that makes any sense. And so you investigated, but then you were like, psychic ability. So maybe you thought this person was more intuitive than they are. Or like the words they use resonates in some kind of way. And I guess like to me, this feels like very like hyper-focused, like paying attention to one cup instead of all the many cups. Yeah, this bat person too, like I just keep hearing like you were shielded from witnessing someone or something that was pretty toxic. I'm also seeing like a dog, so it's almost like this dog is like trying to get on top of the wheel, but you were never fully able to get up there, you know? Yeah, scissors. Yeah, someone cut someone else off right away after they saw what they said about you. I don't know if there was like a group chat where someone was making stuff up. And I keep hearing like you're projecting onto the situation, and I'm like, I'm not trying to. You know, it's almost like I'm hearing like, you know, you're making up stories in your head about this person and this situation when it's like it's gonna be fine. You know, the rainbow, like the worst part about your connection with this person, pile number 4, I was about to say 3, is like it's over. You know, you've won. So you can take your laurels. And it's almost kind of like, you know, you won the battle and the war, but this person wants you to understand that, like, what was lost was way worse than anything they could have gained by being in a conflict with you. You know, I almost feel like this person would be like, if I could sacrifice myself or if I could go back, I would do it over and over and over again. Yeah, I'm also hearing bells too. Like I could see this person just like meditating to try to clear their mind. I'm hearing like my usual like clear your mind, close your eyes, both feet on the floor. Yeah, and just diamond like I'm hearing like Rhinestone Eyes by the Gorillas. Yeah, it's just the only thing that I see with that's on this person's mind is making amends and trusting you. And I feel like they wish that they had trusted you sooner. And that they wish you success. You know, like at first I was like, well, do they feel like they're going to have success with you? And it's like, yeah. However, with the rainbow, you know, they don't really believe they deserve it or deserve you. It's kind of just like they want to reintroduce themselves to you, who they actually are. You know, scissors. I don't know why I was thinking of like scissoring with like lesbians, and I was like, oh, and like some kind of an affair, maybe that you had between you towards someone. I don't know. There's just some kind of like, I don't know. I'm seeing like arts and crafts and just really like. I'm seeing like painter or like just doing something artsy together. You know, something really creative and innocent. Like, I think that's all this person wants is just to be a child with you. And just be happy. Because you bring them happiness. And that's kind of all they ever want. And like with this flower person, for some reason, like the flower person from the last pile's coming up because it's like this person like didn't know what you were capable of and what you were made of. And I'm also hearing parrot too, so like maybe this person was again repeating things that you said over coffee or over, it feels like a dinner or like a snack or something. Like someone was just repeating stuff that you had said to them over and over and over again, and they were like, I think this person's lying. Because this person makes me happy. So I don't know where you got this information, but yeah, kick it to the curb. Someone's just jealous. You know? Jealous of your attention. Wanting to make amends. Yeah, I see someone like in the Batcave, like Batman style, just being like, alright, I'm gonna like write letters or write an apology. See someone like just like scribbling with like a crayon, like, I think this person's not very good at apologies or written apologies, but something about like hunger, like they just have been really down in the dirt and avoiding this situation for a while. So like I could just see them like coming out of their little cave to be like, I hand wrote this for you. And then you're like, oh, I didn't know you could read. And then it's like you just like open up this message that's like really heartfelt but like misspelled and full of grammatical errors, and you're just like, okay, all right, I want to make amends. And it's kind of just saying like, hey, I miss you. Do you want to snag a burger or something? Because I drank too much coffee this morning. And then I had the stress shits. I don't know. What's also hidden here, Spirit? It's just like this love, or like there's something like they feel dirty about this situation with you. Or like whatever went on with these mice. Or maybe believing these mice. I'm not financially stable. I miss hearing your voice. You inspire me. I want to start over. Maybe they're embarrassed that they aren't what they seem. They're not powerful like you believe they were. You know, with the hat, it's kind of like, oh, you can wear many hats, versus they're like, yeah, I can't do anything beyond this. Like, I crash if I don't get my way about something. Or like, I miss hearing your voice. Like, I literally could see them like watching videos of you if you have like some kind of a shared social media, or like they wish that you were talking and speaking to them directly. So they're like literally sitting there being like, man, like I wish pile number 4 was sitting here yelling at me right now. Because I'd rather hear you yelling at me than like making mistakes and not being able to see you ever again. I don't know, there's some kind of like a rush thing too, because I was like, oh, like the band Rush? And I was like, no, but it was like a rush of energy. And there's something about like your voice is special to them because of what they hear in it. Doesn't matter what the world says or hears. And to me, they're just really like, I'm not the things that you think I am. But you inspire me to start over. I just see like enemies and whatever, and this person's so paranoid when it's like the real enemy is just themselves, hurting themselves. And so they kind of like turn their face away with shame because they just feel like a child. They feel childish and stupid and heartless and heartbroken, and yeah, they just feel like a kid who lost control and can't find somebody new, or they can't like, I feel like they just feel bad for like entering your life and causing this much distortion and pain. And they feel like you're watching them like a hawk, and it's just like, well, do I still have a chance? Is it worth it? And I think that, like, regardless of what you choose to do with this situation, pile number 4, I feel like this person just wants to get coffee and prove to you once and for all that they're not like a misogynist or like, I don't know. They're just gonna reintroduce themselves to you. And then be like, yeah, do you still wanna go on a date? Do you still wanna hang out sometime? You don't need to go on a date, but I'd really like to go on a date. Flower person. Oh my god. Yeah, the flower person said something disturbing to this person. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about something in particular that happened in one of my other tarot readings that I suddenly was just like, oh my god, I can't believe someone took something that innocent and distorted that into something completely untrue, but that is hilarious as fuck. That's what they're gonna use to hurt me or your person. And I'm just like, do I still have a chance? And it's just like, yeah. Yeah, pal, you do. Oh. What a goober. Alright. Well, anyways, though, Spirit's just reminding you, trust your intuition and your own psychic abilities, because again, this is a general tarot reading, and anybody watching right now, you know your truth better than anything, and Spirit is here to guide you. But the big takeaway is the most difficult part of the situation is over, so you will be hearing from this person shortly. Ha, this person could be short. They could be listening to messages, like maybe you have you left voice messages or reading text, but it feels like to me it's more of like listening, because if they like your voice, they're like, again, watching old videos or reels. If you have stuff publicly on Facebook or, I was like, Snapchat? Who the heck still uses Snapchat? I don't know, maybe someone's dated. But, yeah, they just want to hear your voice one last time. Just so you can have a conversation, say, hey, you don't have to be a stranger anymore. And I'm also hearing Texas, too, in case that's relevant. Anyways, yeah, but you guys are going to have success, and it's going to go in your favor. I'm also seeing, like, Hungary, like the country. Whatever. I need to go to sleep. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below if this message resonated with you. I don't know. Black tourmaline might be good for somebody in case you need to get grounded. Especially for channeling all those messages if you had a hard day. Yeah. And then if you're interested in booking a reading with me, links are in the description down below. I will see you guys later. Take care. Bye.